together at least for tonight. It's been so long since I got so close to someone. I know this ain't love, but let me stay a while. And pull me closer tonight, keep holding my hand. I know this ain't love, but let me stay the night. I said let me stay a while. 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 And I said let me stay a while. I said let me stay a No, no, I don't need a degree to know this ain't love at first sight. 'Cause I know how this works, I got my ABCs right. Oh, so let's play pretend. Say you'll be the one for me. Say you'll be the one for me forever. I know this will end tonight, but you'll be the one for me. Say you'll be the one for me. It's been so long since I got so close to someone. I know this ain't love, but let me stay a while. And pull me closer tonight, keep holding my hand. I know this ain't love, but let me stay the night. I said let me stay a while. 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 And I said let me stay a while. I said let me stay a I said let me stay a I said let me stay a
Seeing your face for a second, without a trace, I lose you just as fast. All of the places I'm searching, why am I chasing what I never had? Your love's like a hit and run, like flames and you let it burn. You know when you return, then I'm gonna be there. Cave in when I hear your words, same thing but I never learn. You know when you return, then I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be leaving a space when you're going. Take it away, 'cause I have nothing left. There's no escaping when you hold me, and then you're forsaking me with no regret. Your love's like a hit and run, like flames and you let it burn. You know when you return, then I'm gonna be there. Cave in when I hear your words, same thing but I never learn. You know when you return, then I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there.
tendency for losing all control, all control. And again and again and again we think we have it all. And again and again and again we hit another wall. In the end, in the end, in the end, when we crash, still the fire burns. The fire burns. We don't wanna stop pretending. No, we're getting what this is. Our first last kiss. One unspoken understanding. No one can come to this. Our first last kiss. First last kiss. Try turning into something beautiful, beautiful. No getting past the purely physical, physical. And again and again and again we think we have it all. And again and again and again we hit another wall. In the end, in the end, in the end, when we crash, still the fire burns. Fire burns. We don't wanna stop pretending. No, we're getting what this is. Our first last kiss. One unspoken understanding. No one can come to this. Our first last kiss. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. First last kiss. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. First last kiss. Little voices get me down. No point denying that they do. And when my spirit hits the ground, well, I think of you. I get this feeling when you're around. It sends me shivers, head to the ground. Afraid of nothing, I'm stronger now. Yeah. So let's stay up late, dancing by your side until the day break. Stare into my eyes until it's okay. Every night with you I'm shining. You keep these voices silent. So let's stay up late, dancing by your side until the day break. Stare into my eyes until it's okay. Every night with you I'm shining. You keep these voices silent. These little voices in my head, they try to rip into my soul, but they won't get to me again. No, I'm in control. I get this feeling when you're around. It sends me shivers, head to the ground. Afraid of nothing, I'm stronger now. Yeah. So let's stay up late, dancing by your side until the day break. Stare into my eyes until it's okay. Every night with you I'm shining. You keep these voices silent. So let's up late, dancing by your side until the day breaks, stare into my eyes until it's okay. Every night with you I'm shining, you keep these voices silent. Little voices get me down. No point denying that they do.
Maybe it's my reputation, or maybe it's the shit that her dad said, but I'd be killing expectations if she would ever leave my bed. Might be down in a basement, but she don't ever make a sound. So even if she's changing the station, I'ma stick around. Yeah. She likes me even when I'm broke. Says she wants time, she don't need no dough. And she could always leave, but I know that she won't, and I know that she won't. She likes me even when I'm broke. Says she's all mine, she don't need no dough. And she could always leave, but I know that she won't. Yeah, I know that she won't. Even though I'm broke. Even though I'm broke.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week 3 of BrawlFest. It's a little dark day. Let's put some light on. Got you covered. My name is Xenox. Welcome to tonight's stream for week 3. Oh yeah, got the map. Beautiful. It's working. I may be a little bit more yellow, but it's mainly because I really can't be bothered putting my bedroom light on. This is just my scuffed ring light. Rave party. Yeah, if it's really bad, I can put on the room light as well. But welcome to the stream. Welcome to the night. We've got 4 games tonight here for week 3 of the Alpha Division for PUBG BrawlFest, powered by GLL as well. And we also have 4 new teams coming in from the Bravo Division from last week. Nocturnal Gaming, Sleeper Gaming, Carnage Esports, and I believe OTG. I believe it was OTG, Carnage, Sleeper, and Nocturnal are the 4 teams from Bravo. We also, of course, then have lost 4 teams from Alpha Division last week that have gone down to the Bravo Division, which is being streamed right now by Galway at PUBG BrawlFest 1. So if you want to catch some of the Bravo Division action as well, it's over there. But this is all about Alpha Division. Why is there a team... Who is this? Do I not have their logo? I'll have to check that one going into the next game. But yes, that is Nocturnal Gaming towards Melta. SYF down in Sosnovka Island's military base. We back in Novo. Surge Esports in Melta Power. And down in Pachinki, of course, no team immunity. They are in Bravo Division this week. Off the grid, Esports and Carnage are going to both try and vie for Pachinki tonight. Chiefs over in the Gatka Fields. Atletico in South Georgia pulling crates. In School and Apartments for only push. 404 in Rostock. Knights Esports usually around North Georgia Pole. Just making their way over there now. And for Sleeper Gaming, just a duo pair for It's Shaggles and Sammy. Yeah, that's unfortunate for them. Vart Gaming and Yasnaya Polyana. Order with the Mansion and Prison split. Non-Reg heading towards Lipovka. As Semantic just around Lumber Mill. And around the cliffs for Pandemic Esports. That is all of our teams so far. Well, let's have a look at the leaderboard though, shall we? I actually haven't looked at it myself. Exclamation mark leaderboard if you want to be checking out the leaderboard tonight. And so far, it's only Push that leads the way overall after 2 weeks. We are into the third week now. Only Push in first position, Atletico in second. Okay, third. Avant fourth and Knights in fifth. Round out the top five. Order and Chiefs in sixth and seventh, respectively. Just outside of the top five coming into tonight's games. And of course, again, a reminder for those who maybe aren't aware. You do still get points in the Bravo division for the global leaderboard. So Alpha and Bravo division lobbies still getting points against each other. But it's half the points for the Bravo lobby. So Team Immunity, who are going into the Bravo lobby tonight, only get half points. Compared to usually getting full points in the Alpha. Let's get into the game though, shall we? We'll put my face away. And we will get into the game. No fancy transitions this time around. Just black screens, of course. Come on. Just needs a little bit of motivation, that's all. So, 6.5 minutes here. Game number 1 of the night. 2 games on Erangel, and then 2 games on Miramar. As usually, is going to be knocked down by Jukesy on rotation. Going to just get caught out, so Resident 1 tap. Along with Kamzi, the last 3 alive for Pandemic Esports here already. But the music away as we get into this game. So, 7 minutes gone. Couple of deaths, but also more importantly, not really a couple of, I think I saw like 1 or 2. But there are a couple of teams that are missing a player or 2. We saw one of those being Sleeper Gaming, an unfortunate start for them. Obviously coming into Alpha Division tonight. Not only are they coming in against these top teams, but now they're also coming in with just the 2 players for this game. So, Inch Shaggles and Sammy. Close by to Vasily from Avant Gaming. But he's just going to let them know that they aren't safe here. We haven't really touched on the zone too much. Northwestern side does have Georgia Paul, Everest, shooting range, Severny, Zaki as well. Although I'm still yet to see a Zaki finish for a competitive game. It's extremely unlikely to happen, most importantly due to the land ratio setting. As Critical Motion gets a knockdown onto Yasu, Hao Juend is here as well. So it's a 1 versus 2 for Critical Motion. Trying to use the wall as best to his advantage right now as he's got Tiggleton arriving as some reinforcements for this fight to make it a 2 versus 1 in the favor of the Chiefs. We'll finish off Yasu. I don't know why this is so laggy right now. Hao Juend over towards the right side is going to be knocked down by Critical Motion. Man, that was almost like a slideshow. But the slideshow has ended and the Chiefs come out on top. 2 kills now for Critical Motion. As he takes out 2 members of Team 404. Tony and 5-4 will remain for them. And they're now just coming out of Rostock. A little bit delayed. And yet still for 404's Yasu and Hao Juend, both of them had the advantage against Critical Motion initially. It was a 2 versus 1. So Atletico happy to just stay around South Georgia Ball and crates. Suspecting Cream moving into North Georgia Ball, the usual looting location, but they went there initially. That's why Kikamuki out firing towards Sunny. 2 minutes and 25 seconds until phase number 2 will be commencing shortly. So not a whole lot more time. A lot of teams on the eastern side of the zone could be making their way in. SYF, we back. Ulti and Proficient slow here for Surge, but Cedric and Biggie J have made their way in, and for Nocturnal Gaming, Chi-Chan Yajra, we'll go with Yajra, AC, and I'm going to call this person Nate. That's it. That's their name. It's just going to be Nate. Thanks. You're going to take down non-reg. Only push we're coming into tonight. First position. Had a outstanding first 2 weeks so far in the Alpha Division. We see back into the lineup. Obviously, sort of a 5-man team with only push. Gets a shot onto Somatic. I think that might have been a headshot with a mini from Linksy. To the eastern side for only push, but the zone will be heading into phase 2 shortly. There is still a possibility it could shift down south towards Avarice, towards Gatka, which if it does, it means that the Yazzie River will stay intact for quite a bit longer. But if it does go north, then the Yazzie River could be taken out pretty quickly. And that means we will, of course, be towards the far north side of Erangel, which would definitely be in favour for the duo pair for Sleeper Gaming, who are really to the far north as possible that they can. Carnage Esports just north of shooting ranges. Now finally SYF, we back, and Nocturnal all making their way in towards the northeastern side of the zone. Still a distance to travel over Woods and Juice X. Now just coming past the Yasnaya Pond. Pandemic are just going to sit on the eastern side. So 30 more seconds until phase number 2. Only push still keeping their eye on Archaic, but everyone else pretty firm with their current possessions. Not a whole lot of movement. Most of the movement coming from SYF and we back at the moment on the northeastern side. Nocturnal as well. Apparently Nate's on the move past Saverni. But the rest of Nocturnal happy to sit still in AC and Yajra. Not sure exactly where their fourth went though for Nocturnal Gaming. Halti will be coming in just as we transition into the phase 2 zone now. And it is going to shift far north. That's a hard shift. Barely scratching the blue. It almost is. That does get rid of the Asnai River. It gets rid of that decision. It gets rid of the decision in terms of, do you go south of the river or north of the river? In this case, shooting range. Now the major area really inside of this zone. There's not really a whole lot of compounds in this zone. This is where Wrangle's quite different to Miramar, for example. 6x on the mini for Jukes. He's not sure if it's really needing the 6x at this point. Biggie J pretty close by. What is going on with the game tonight? Biggie J inside. We'll be able to get the first aid kit off. Crush going to go down to Wolf. Biggie trying to see if he can fire back towards Jukes. He's going to cook the nade instead. Send this one over. It's going to be a Kobe. It's actually very well placed. Jukes is going to be knocked down. Massive nade from Biggie J. Ronan is now just in behind him, and he will actually get a knockdown onto Proficient 6 with his own frag grenade. Does have 2 more as well to throw out here. Rose gets the spray to Biggie J, who comes out of the shack, but he doesn't get the knockdown. Order in trouble here as they get surrounded by Surge Esports. Halti with some nice damage on the Ronan will force out his final first aid kit here. And he's just going to have to fall back, get to shooting range, get back to Insight, and Waikiki Mukau does still have 2 smoke grenades as well to help him get back. Big tag though puts him down to 1 health, and he doesn't have any first aid kits. Jukesy actually trying to still crawl over and get to Ronan. This could be the great escape for Order though. Ronan will throw out a smoke, but he's overthrown this one quite extensively. Surely he can't get the revive and both of them get away here. Surge is just not going to push onto this. Halti did get knocked down, which is, of course, now sort of stopped the momentum of Surge Esports. Order are really about to get away from here. Jukesy, I think, dropped the first aid kit as well for Ronan to get him back up. That may not be done. It's almost like coming back from the grave to strike revenge against Surge. It's the Walking Dead all over again. Somehow, Ronan and Jukesy are back up, alive. And Order have got all 4 up when they really should have only had 2. Surge unable to really capitalize on that. They lost Halti in the process as well. And And they're down to 3. Surge don't come away with 2 kills. They don't come away with 4. That's a loss in my books for Surge Esports in that sort of scenario. Really should have been able to do better from that. Still, it's not over just yet for Order. Insight's going to be knocked down just on the outside of the tunnel. Mikey Kamukiel throws out the smoke, and Insight will just continue to crawl down into the bunker. And so, Order will still have 4 as they get the revive. Resolves down near crashed plane. Atletico on the western side. As the Chiefs just going to huddle up into a shack here. Always a dangerous thing to really do. All it takes is one frag grenade in and all 3 get exploded and turns into bits and pieces. But Critical Motion is hanging outside just to make sure no one tries to sneak up onto the Chiefs here. They are in a pretty open area. Shouldn't be too difficult. Only push. Going to hold just on the far eastern side at the quads south of Severny. 15 minutes and 20 seconds gone. First game of the night. Although it does say that. Now beautiful overlay infographic on the top left of your screen. Week 3, game 1. I always love having that for Alpha Division. So, shots firing from a distance between teams. No movement, though, necessary. As we are 13 seconds away now from phase 3. And down to the south side for Off the Grid Esports, Tempo, Fico, Runye West, and Power AU. Next zone shifting, though, away from the water. It's almost like it's phase 4 come early. As it does shift down to the south. There was no land ratio setting, of course, for phase number 3. So, basically, has just done phase 4's job for it. And it says phase 4, you're not required. We'll shift down early. Which really does mean, having a quick glance at this, we most likely won't see too many fights. Most of the teams who aren't center are just going to want to hold edge. There's no compounds to try and breach for in the center of the zone. Shooting range is also quite open. Makes it a little bit difficult to sort of push in and breach. So expecting to maybe see the fights happen around the edge of the zone. Especially possibly towards the southeastern side of the moment with Surge, Only Push, Archaic all around here. We back as well on the eastern side. And for still Pandemic Esports to make their way in from Severny. Starting to just heat up slightly towards the edge of the zone. Even towards the west, Atletico are going to push in. Slight separation between them, though. Knights who are south of them. And then, again, separation south of Knights to Off the Grid Esports. But the teams in the middle, though, Avant, Chiefs, and for Order, looking quite well placed. Ironically speaking, it's the teams like Carnage, SYF, 404, that I feel like maybe going to get themselves into a situation where they're going to get into fights that they just don't want to take. They've got to deal with the Chiefs who are fighting them, Carnage as well, and then also coming behind is Sammy, and it's Shaggles from Sleeper Gaming. Fortunately for SYF, it's only the duo. Unfortunately, though, they've just been completely wiped out in 20 seconds time from start to finish, from 4 alive to 0 alive. They cannot manage to stop themselves from dying against the Chiefs and Carnage Esports, who had the angle on them. And that was sort of where I was going with what I was saying. They were in a position that wasn't quite fully edge of the zone, but also they weren't center. They were just sort of in this no man's land in between the teams that were center and the teams that were on the edge. That was really at a disadvantage for SYF Gaming in the end. As now Carnage will spot the duo of Sleeper Gaming. SYF out in last position, though. Disastrous start. And again, the way that this tournament works is with the 4 games that are played today. If you are in the bottom 4 by the end of the night, you will be heading down into the Bravo division. Not that it's the worst of the divisions. It's more just the secondary division that does get 50% reduced amount of points acquired for the global leaderboard. Obviously, Team Immunity is the top team that's playing in there tonight. Struggled last week and found themselves in the bottom 4. And we'll see how they'll go tonight. That is over on the Bravo stream at PUBG BrawlFest 1. Which does have a couple of top teams as well that are participating in that tonight. Looking to bounce back and make their way into the Alpha Division for next week. And obviously for these new teams, it's a matter of trying to stay in this division to get that full 100% points worth for their kills and their placements, and to just gain the experience of playing against these top teams. And in a way, it's almost like the English Premier League, or just, you know, football leagues in general. It's sort of like a relegation system. Instead of the bottom 3, it's the bottom 4. And instead of having to wait an entire year to get back into the top league, you just got to wait a week. So Avant, Chiefs, Order, all well placed inside of the center of the zone. 18 more seconds until phase number 4. And as I mentioned, this is basically how I thought it would play out. Teams on the far edge of the zone, the 3 in the middle, 404 sort of like SYF in no man's land. But they've only got the 2. It's Tony and 5-4, and they're both separated from each other inside a shack. So they're not really open for the taking in the way that SYF Gaming were. Next zone, hard shifts towards shooting range. Does keep Avant, Chiefs, and Order inside of the zone. But all of a sudden now, Avant and Chiefs go from being center of the zone towards the edge on the western side. And now will have to fight their way to hold their position, because they don't really want to push more towards the center of the zone. There's not much here. It's shooting range, or it's trees and nothingness. Atletico just going to push straight in though. They're going to push past the Chiefs. Atletico's happy to beat us though. Caught behind. I think Chiefs have got him pinned down behind this rock. The UAZ's most likely, the tires have been popped. The Chiefs have done their job here. They haven't just yet, but, well, okay, I think this UAZ is stuck in between a rock and a hard place, quite literally. Although I think it may have been done on purpose initially. Now they're without the UAZ, and Happy's been left behind. Tony's just going to make the push now for 404 with the motorbike, try and find himself somewhere he can safely exit the motorcycle. That's not going to be anywhere, though, as he has his back tire popped and causes himself to have a front flip. Waiki Kamukian will pick up the kill for Order, though. 4 kills for Order. As Critical Motion going to be taken down by Resolves. Now Edge as well. So Avant down to 3. Chiefs are under pressure. Not to be too surprised, though, considering the way the zone shifted. Now we're going to have a lot of teams rotating around near them, and obviously eyes would be on the Chiefs' location. Peeper Potato, Tickleton still up. Edge, though, going to get revived by Peeper Potato with the aid of the smokes as well. But it seems to be it's Carnage who are really putting the pressure on the Chiefs at the moment. Carnage still need to make their way to the zone as well. And they may find it's going to be Atletico that will inadvertently gatekeep them now. Bit of taste of their own medicine for Carnage after taking out SYF Gaming earlier on in the game, with help from the Chiefs as well. But now they've got to get past Atletico, and Atletico have got eyes on both Carnage and the Chiefs here. Great position for Atletico. And they're also out of sight lines of Order. Right now, for Order, it's about where do they want to hold shooting range here. Do they just want to hold the entire north side? Allow some of these south side teams to sort of push in to the south of shooting range, which is totally feasible. Now, definitely it is, because Order are just going to hold the north side of shooting range. They're not going to bother to hold the entirety of it. But from this position, they can actually still see south of shooting range, up onto the hill, and see any teams that may push into shooting range. As Peeper Potato and Tickleton will get moving for the Chiefs. Edge staying behind near a crate as well. And the Chiefs are just going to breach in towards the back of shooting range now. It is open for the taking, and they will get there without any casualties in the end. 5 kills for the Chiefs. 4 of them came from Critical Motion, though, before he did perish. And the south of shooting range is not a bad position to hold. Does have this defilade along the back end of it. And, of course, the fence line. If you go prone, Order can't see you. And right now, it is still just all about holding the edge. OTG Esports versus Nocturnal Gaming. Knocked down onto AC07. Chi-Chan as well is going to bleed out to non-reg. So Archaic getting amongst this fight as well against Nocturnal Gaming, who already lost Sebastian. As Yajride's the last one alive. Fico will get the elimination. 15th position for Nocturnal Gaming. And Off the Grid Esports picking up their first kill of the game. They will be able to get Power AU back into the game as well. 3 more seconds until phase number 5. And it is a very disgusting hard shift over towards the north side of the zone. Slightly towards the western side as well. Does cut shooting range slightly out, but it is still half in. And Order can still hold shooting range if they would like to. And really, from Ronan's position, he's not that far from center of the zone either. And for Peeper Potato and Tickleton, They could rotate eventually, not right away, but eventually if they really wanted to, towards the middle of shooting range on the outside of this sort of fence. As Benshu's going to go down, so is it Shaggles. But I'm sort of just talking around here. If they really wanted to, it would be a dangerous position to hold. But let's be real, there's not really many safe positions with this sort of zone. Having a look at it from here. Couple of rocks, couple of trees. But suspect. And who has he got here? I can't see the name. It's Solo B. Lost to a life for Knights Esports. Sitting dead center of the zone. Just inside of their own crevice. As Tempo is going to be knocked down by Somatic. It's Archaic pushing onto off-the-grid esports right now. Power AU, low. Fico has got 4 health. Going to throw out a smoke grenade. Does have 1 frag grenade to throw back towards Archaic here. But the blue zone starts to make its way in. It's going to pressure both off-the-grid and Archaic. Somatic far back. But he's trying to also deal with Avant Gaming still over down at the plane. 3 still up for off-the-grid esports. They get the revive on Runye West. Fico, power. Runye. Fico's just going to try and stim on up as they push in. But it's going to be Archaic, who have got the gatekeep advantage onto off-the-grid esports here. Fico even going to just pull out the pan. Only push, go out in 13th position. Our leaderboard leaders going to be knocked out early from game number 1 for the night. Power AU and off-the-grid esports are off the game. Out in 12th position. Now Archaic have got to deal with Avant Gaming here. They do have 5 kills though, but they did lose a player. Sleeper Gaming will perish in 11th position. Edge is going to go down to Happy to Beat Us. All of a sudden, though, Atletico in a well-positioned part of the zone. Rafi down to 11 health. Just has to continue running, though. 1 tick inside of that blue will almost kill him here. 2 will. As Avant Gaming doing a great job of pressuring Archaic. I think this could be the end of Archaic here. Vasily just going to land a couple more shots. Non-Reg, though, will take out Woodsy. We back, getting pushed on from behind by Archaic. They do spot Cedrix though from Snapshot. 4x on the Mini 14. Cedrix will go prone and away from Snapshot. This will be his last smoke grenade as well from Snapshot. What? How did that bounce the way that it did? He threw that over Juice X on my screen, and yet then it sort of just like caught him and got stuck for a second. Smatic go down. Non-Reg knocked down. Rafi last one alive for Archaic. Pushing in. Going to be coming in from behind. We back. Are they going to be waiting for him though? And it will be Snapshot with a quick headshot. Double tap after that. And just like that, 3 bullets and the death. And Archaic are out in 10th position. WeBack have got other things to worry about though right now. What the hell just happened? Someone clip this. Someone clip this. What is it? PUBG is just bizarre. Oh look, Juice X has showed up as well. Hello. Hashtag fix PUBG. Juice X is dying here. This is amazing. Bye-bye Snapshot. Juice X is going to stay though. He's vigorously turning and turning and turning as he spazzes out. I don't know. Where is he? Where have they moved to? Okay, they're here. Then they're back up from underneath. They've teleported. Juice X going to be knocked down by Happy Navitas though. Snapshot can get off some bandages. Heals back up to about 70 health. Textile will steal the kill away though for Avant's favor. Up to 6 kills. 4 of them to Textile. 2 to Resolves. As Order will push towards Atletico now. 9 teams, 19 alive. Tickleton and P for Potato still inside of shooting range. Cedric and Bigger J for Surge Esports as well. And One Tap will hold on as the one player for Pandemic Esports, pun intended, is Sunny. Still alive for Carnage Esports. He's opening with a knockdown headshot onto Taxi. He's going to be taken out as well. Vasily not going to be able to help out in this scenario. Now, Vasily does have 4 smoke grenades here. Can push into the zone. Going into phase 7, he does hold this position behind the rock for phase 6, which is massive for Avant Gaming because Order and Atletico are about to do battle. Then the teams around shooting range will need to push in, so Vasily may be able to get top 6 here just from sitting behind this rock. It's Ronan and the rest of Order now up to 8 kills. Now the battle begins against Atletico. Cheeses, Luke 12. Nice to see Cheeses back. He's almost like the super sub. Atletico do very well with Cheeses. They're up to 4 kills inside of the top 9. 9 teams at 18 alive. On average, that's about 2 players alive per team. But obviously that's not the case. We've just got quite a few solos hanging around. Obviously, Sunny inside of the smoke is going to be well spotted, but Atletico can't worry too much about Sunny when Order are lingering about. One tap inside of the blue, trying to come in from behind Order. Don't sense this is going to happen for you one tap, though. You needed to keep moving with the blue. Just going to spray now. He did have the frag grenade. Maybe it'd been better off to throw a Kobe as he was about to perish. Sunny in 9th for Carnage. 8th for Pandemic Esports. Tiggleton and P for Potato holding on for the Chiefs. So we back Chiefs, Knights, Order, Atletico, Surge, and Avant are the final 7 teams here for game 1 of the night. 4 games in total. 2 on Erangel, 2 on Miramar. 29.5 minutes gone. Next zone, going to shift towards Atletico, and again, Order have to push closer towards Atletico. They have no choice here. Interestingly enough, Atletico, while positioned, they've also got a crate lingering around at the back here. You could easily just have someone hiding behind that as cover. Jesus in a well position as well, just around this little lip here. If Order go above this, they will be able to spot all of Atletico, but at the moment, they are behind it. Not sure exactly where their shots are coming from. It's actually going to be from Tiggleton, knocked down onto Cedrix. Can Biggie J respond, though, in a 1 versus 2 scenario against the Chiefs? He's just going to wait until he's got a clearer view. Peter Potato and Tiggleton just trying to sort of weed for snakes. Tiggleton going to be knocked down. Biggie J, can he have a big moment and get the 1 versus 2? And he can! He takes out both of the Chiefs. Tiggleton and Potato perish, unable to take down Biggie J. 7th position for the Chiefs, and Surge Esports stay alive. 5 kills as well for them. I think he just spotted Vasily. Oh no, maybe not. He's just keeping his eye on it. GC going to be knocked down. Just pushes forward a little bit. In fact, it may have been Happy Navitas who just got over this ridge, able to spot Order. No frag grenade though for Happy Navitas. Snapshot still has not been spotted. You can see just how well hidden he is. Mikey Kamuki behind the rock. Ronan and Insight pushing in with the blue. 44 more seconds until Ronan and Insight need to join Waiki Kamuki out inside of the zone. Biggie J still needs to move in. So does Snapshot for We Back. Just some snap strats working out well for them so far this game. 3 kills, top 6. You do get that sense of the feeling, though, it's going to be either Atletico or Order who win this game. Whoever can come away and win this fight should be well placed enough to take out the rest of the game, considering unless it's an absolute bloodbath between these 2 teams, which is going to commence now. Ronan does spot Luke 12, but I think he spotted Jesus as well. Caught him off guard, and he had to change his angle at the last second onto who he wanted to actually fire against. 5 more seconds until phase number 8. Ronan down to 38 health. He most likely was expecting the push, but Atletico are not going to oblige here. Wow, zone shifts towards Vasily. Luke 12 will take out Biggie J, though. Surge do not make it inside of the top 5. Biggie J, just before he went down to Luke 12, actually got the knockdown onto Ronan. It's like a parting gift in favor of Atletico. Ronan will go down. Atletico say, thank you, Biggie J. There's Waiki Kamuki on Insight. The last 2 are alive now for Order. In a way, can they sort of just be left behind by Atletico? But I don't think Atletico will leave the area. Jesus, massive headshot onto Waiki Kamuki. Snapshot, though, makes his presence known with a knockdown onto Happy. Trying to steal the kill away onto Waiki Kamuki, and he achieves it. Oh, Snapshot with a snap strat steals the kill. He got the knockdown onto Happy Davidas, and Vasily took that kill as well. Luke 12, though, will send Snap out of the game in 5th position for We Back. Comes down to Knights, who have been here for quite a long time now. Suspect and Solo B with just a singular kill. They've done an amazing job to at least get inside of the top 4. Patience is a virtue, and they get rewarded in this scenario. But Atletico running riot here. They've got 3 players still alive when there's 2 solos and a duo pair for the final 4 teams. Vasily, how is he not spotted Knights? 7 kills for Avant. Vasily has only been able to grab 1 of those kills, though. Oh, he spots Luke 12, but Luke 12 spots him first. Sniper v Sniper. Luke 12 on top. 5th kill of the game for Luke. And at least just takes out 1 anomaly to deal with to finish off this game for Atletico. 10 kills. Well, Jesus is the super sub, and Atletico always seem to do extremely well with Jesus. No heifer for game 1. Insight just going to run over towards this ditch, and he's going to get both members of Knights. Massive for Order. It's a double kill, but it also gets Order into 2nd position. Although I'm not going to count out Insight just yet. 1 versus 3. Can happen. But Atletico are a team that it really doesn't happen to them too much, and they have got him pinned down into the blue as well. Zoidmate won't want to be on the highlight reel. He knows this. Waits, patience, smart, headshot. Cheeses actually stole it away from Zoid. Regardless, it's a kill secure rather than the kill steal. And Atletico take out game number 1 with an 11 kill performance victory. Well played in the end as well. Didn't rush it. No one just ran head first in and didn't even allow Insolent to have a chance at the 1 versus 3. Well, Atletico are the 1 in first position. Order in second though, with a well-rounded performance, considering it was all going quite pear-shaped for Order earlier on. They could have lost 2 players pretty early. They held firm. They came back from the dead, quite literally. They came away with 10 kills in a second position for Order Army. Third position for the 3-man Knights, although it was the 2-man Knights for the majority of the game. Fourth position for Avant Gaming, thanks in most part to Vasily hiding behind a tree. They had 7 kills. Fifth position for WeBack. Sometimes the snap strats do work. We're going to go to a break, and when we come back, ladies and gentlemen, Game 2 will be with you shortly.
Try to pick up the pieces. My last words are a mystery I can't recall. Stop feeling lonely, you are not the only one. Stop feeling lonely, cause you are not the only one. There ain't no time to waste, you've got to give it all. Say, what a miracle. Dreaming of a better chance to make this right. And who we are is the voice that we hear at night. Stop feeling lonely, you are not the only one. Stop feeling lonely, cause you are not the only one. There ain't no time to waste, you've got to give it all. Say, what a miracle. We can laugh so hard that we cry. What a miracle. Keep on dreaming of a better life. What a miracle. 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 What a miracle.
and they generally loot Pachinki. They were like, let's go Pachinki. And now they're both like, let's not go Pachinki. Now no one's in Pachinki. Oceanic region for you right here. We'll see how that plays out, of course, down in Primorsk. They both have got the zone here. And there is a bit of separation. Tempo, in fact, the only one technically from off the grid esports that's inside of Primorsk. The rest of Carnage in there. He may just look to go towards Power AU. Possibly. Chiefs over in the Gakka fields as stock standard. Atletico in South Georgia Pool. In North Georgia Pool for Knights. In Severny for Sleeper Gaming, which has got Stacky Straya in the game, at least this game. In fact, we've got everyone in the game here. 16 teams, 64 alive. Avant Gaming in Yasnaya, Polyarda, School and Apartments for Only Push. Team 404 in Rozhok. And we back around Stalba, Kameshki, Archaic in Lipovka, and Order with the Mansion and Prison split as usual. As usual. That's all of our teams here. Second game of the night proceeding. Again, also a reminder that we've got the Bravo division currently being streamed live as well. Casted by the beautiful Galway. That's over at PUBG BrawlFest 1 if you want to go and check that out. Be free to go and do so. But you can also stay here too. You know, stay here, but check that out too. Cheers. Nocturnal Gaming, actually with a 2-2 split, Farm and Milta. Should probably say that as well. But no one in Pachinki. Interesting to see that. Very interesting. Was not expecting to see that. 5 minutes and 16 seconds, by the way, has gone by. So I think it's time to put my face away. I'm sorry. I'm moving on. Yep. Transition. I hope you guys appreciate that. I hope you do. So 6 minutes and 15 seconds gone so far here in game number 2 for the night. And teams are now just starting to make their way towards the zone around the cliffs for Nocturnal and Pandemic. Order going to start shifting away from Mansion Prison and along with Archaic from Lipovka. Chiefs going to move down though towards Quarry for Critical Motion and Tiggleton. As the blue zone starts to make its way in. Best places really inside of this zone. I mean, obviously Quarry, around Quarry, like you don't want to be inside of Quarry. But around, I think the north end of Quarry here. There's a lot of water here. What? Oh, okay. Well, I guess one tap must have DC'd / crashed. Couldn't get back into the game and might as well take whatever he looted. But north side of Quarry, it's probably the best thing right now. I think Chiefs have realized this. With the water that's in play, even if it goes south, it's eventually going to come back north. It's eventually going to come back to land. If it goes central, it goes central to Quarry. If it does go north, then leaving from the north side of Quarry is not going to be that difficult for the Chiefs, realistically speaking. As the song was finished, we'll put the music away. So that is most likely why the Chiefs have shifted towards just the north side of Quarry. Obviously, for other teams that are going to be coming in, a lot seem to be wanting to come in from the south side. The south side of Quarry is fine too. There's nothing wrong with going south side of Quarry, because if you go to the south side of Quarry and it does go south, then all of a sudden you're in a great position. Even with the water, if this does go south for phase number 2 and then possibly even phase number 3, you're looking at around just south of Quarry sort of finish. You may even still have Quarry as the finish, or Primorsk, for example. But most likely sort of something like this, right? And if you're south of Quarry, then you've got really a really decent position. Because when you're on the top side of Quarry, no one's going to be coming in from behind you and trying to climb up from inside a Quarry. And it's the same for the north side as well, for where the Chiefs currently locate themselves. And I've seen the Chiefs around here quite a few times. It doesn't always pay off, though, to be fair. It's a little bit laggy. Starting off the game as usual. Slideshow mode activated here in Australia. So 9 minutes into game number 1, SYF Gaming going to rotate on the south side as well. Carnage have moved up towards Quarry, by the way, on the south side. It's Nocturnal Gaming did start to push in, which I forgot to go and update their logos. I do apologize. I think I've got their logo. I just forgot to actually include it. That's my bad. Water going to be coming in as well. Just along the beach for Insight now on the motorcycle leading the way for Order. May swing back around though and take this compound. I think they're just going to scout it. No shots are coming from it. Surely Insight just swings back around here, and he does. Fairly standard. They'll do one more little swing just to make sure. They'll pull up at the defilade on the backside of this compound, but very quickly, I think they're kind of realizing that. They don't even need to do that. This is open, and Order, I've got the compound. Look at me, it's like I know the game. Wolf's going to be taken down by Edge, though. Apparently, the Chiefs are going to go and rotate towards the western side of Quarry, wrapping around, seeing if they can find anyone from the south side. Most likely, I assume they must be hearing a lot of the vehicles rotating on the south side. There's more likelihood that you're going to have teams taking that sort of highway just north, just in front of Ferry Pier, this sort of road, and trying to rotate in along either from the cliffs or coming in even from like sort of Pachinki way, rotating down south of Quarry, rather than coming in from the north side around the Gatka Fields where it's a lot more open. But now it's a bit too late. You don't want to be coming in from the south side. It's already quite crowded. You'd have to be coming past Archaic, SYF, Order. As for, well, Yajra and AC, they're going to go down for Nocturnal Gaming. Blown up. Sebastian and Chichan, the last two alive for them on the far western side compound near the coastal line. Jesus, though. Jesus. We'll get a bit of spray on the Ranye West, though. Gets him down to half health. And we've seen Atletico play this sort of position as well in the past. I like to play it far west. As Double J is going to be run over by a snapshot. Got quite a few teams coming in now from the northern side of the zone. Avant, Sleeper Gaming, 404, Knights is Textile seeing if he can find a knockdown with his SKS onto the rotating Sleeper Gaming. As Atletico will just go down the coastal line. Pretty easy for them to get towards Cheese. There's no real issue. Stacky actually going to be knocked down and taken out. Knights will also get Sammy. Double kill here for Knights Esports. Already doubled up on the amount of kills that they had in game number 1, even though considering they finished inside of the top 4. And they did lose Double J though in the process, as he did get run over by Snapshot. Only push going to be coming in from the Gatka Fields. Down facility for Avant Gaming on the Western Highway. Solo B is going to pull out the AK, but I sense Vasili's just going to get too far away from him to really land any of these shots. Unless it's going to be Cream, who has started to land a couple. Vasili, roughly around 75 health. And he should be able to get by now. No knockdown there onto Vasili. Resolves was also coming by. It's Textile and Charlie for Avant. And boy, hello. Hello there, Mr. Zone, and welcome down to South. Welcome to Primorsk. It did, in fact, go down south. So 12.5 minutes. And into phase 2 we go, and into what's going to be an absolute chaotic game now. This changes really the entire dynamic of it. Chiefs now not going to be holding north of Quarry because it's just gone so far down south. The north of Quarry is, from the looks of it, going into phase number 3, which does not have the land ratio setting, maybe out of the zone altogether. South of Quarry, really, it's not even that great. You want to be, most likely, in my opinion, if you're the Chiefs, and as this camera takes forever, you want to be at this little building right here. Guarantee it. That's where you want to be right now. It gets you closer towards Primorsk, but not close enough that you're really in the firing line. If you're at Quarry, you may not even be inside of the zone going into phase 4. The way that this is transitioning right now. Again, it depends on phase number 3, though. Phase 3 does not have land ratio setting. And so, It needs to probably go south for that to happen. Right now, Chiefs are just going to hold around just a little south of Quarry. It's only push going to come in from the western side. So Will of Hunt Gaming, Knights, We Back, all on the western side. It's going to get congested coming in, and Resolves is also gatekeeping slightly here on the edge of the zone. Vasily will be knocked down. Benchu taking some shots from Resolves now. Scrim will confirm the kill onto Vasily, so Knights getting a decent start to this game. Charlie's going to get run over by Textile. Not the best place for this to happen. It is OCE, though, I guess, as the driving skills are very subpar in this region. But it's always good for a laugh as long as nothing comes of it. And for Avant's case, nothing will come from it. Textile will get the revive onto Charlie. He says sorry. Gives him some chocolates as well as a thank you for not getting mad at him. We back, just a singular kill at the moment, thanks to the run over from Snapshot. Over towards Quarry though for 404. Nearly just on the outside and on the inside with Hao Zhuen just running around. Edge Shaggles and Strakens for Sleepy Gaming. The duo. They did at least start with 4 this game. It's an improvement from game 1 where they didn't even start with 4. Now they're again just down with 2. But for Sammy and Shaggles, they had a decent game 1 though as a duo pair. Really wasn't that bad in the end. They did get quite fortunate with the zone. Towards the eastern side for Pandemic Esports, SYF, Archaic, and it seems as if that's the way that We Back have decided to rotate it into the zone. And I think it's going to work out a little bit better for them. But as I say that, I'm sure the curse is winding up and getting ready for Pandemic to wipe them as they come into the zone. And it may well happen. It's a possibility for We Back to avoid this. They may actually have to go all the way towards Ferry Pier. And then the problem is coming out of Ferry Pier would be along the beach, which opens them up to Archaic. So what does We Back here do? What's the best position for them to move into this zone? Do they come in through Pandemic, try and take the fight, try and pretty much run through them? It's going to be interesting. And of course, even from there, going into phase number 3's zone, we're kind of assuming at this point they would have to push through Archaic as well. Archaic's in a great spot at the moment. Chiefs as well. Order, not too bad, actually. I like Order spot just outside of, well, as I'm saying, this Biggie J lands a couple of shots at the Waiki Kamukia, but the spot itself is still great. Just outside of Primorsk, away from the madness that's going to happen inside of that city, especially once at some point we do see the zone move away from it. I don't sense we will see a Primorsk finish here, surely not. Regardless, 7 more seconds until phase number 3 will be commencing. It does not have the land ratio setting. Let's see if it does go south again, and really, if it does, well, it would have been a very interesting game. It still will be, though. It's a hard western shift. Primorsk may very well be the place to go now. All of a sudden, the eastern side all but cut out. So is Quarry. Archaic, SYF, Pandemic, We Back now all have to get moving. But We Back's got some, well, more interesting things to worry about right now. It's the fight with Pandemic Esports. Also, the blue. They're kind of fighting with the blue, too. Snapshot, Woodsy, both about to get taken down from the blue zone. First shot, first aid kit, though, from Snapshot will be successful. Pandemic, are they going to pull back? No, Ram's going to knock down onto Big Boy Maka. Nicely executed, though, by Kamsi to get the return knockdown onto Rams. And with Druzex going down to the blue zone, Pandemic may be able to completely deal with We Back here. It's a 2 versus 2 technically. As it stands, frag grenade is going to be sent towards the location of Kamsi. Big Boy Maka, Woodsy will get the knockdown onto Kamsi. Husey will be the sole remaining player for Pandemic Esports as Archaic have been eliminated by Order. They come out in 16th position, last position to note. And Hughes is just going to have to send it and get away from here. So well played by We Back as they will be able to get inside of this next zone and away from the blue zone. This is becoming a bloodbath, though, but at least the city of Primorsk is proving to be a safe haven for the majority of these teams. You've got OTG, Nocturnal, Surge, Dambro for Carnage as well as in here. As Yusi goes past Ronan from Order. Actually doesn't take any damage, though. Did get quite close as well. Now he will start to take some damage, though. OTG Esports pulls up to the shack. If he can get inside, maybe an opportunity for Pandemic Esports to rank tank this game. And Operation Rank Tank will begin for Husey in his clown makeup. SYF has sent Crush towards Primorsk as Yasu's on the move. Goes past Sleeper Gaming's duo. It's Tony and Yasu both on the backside of this bike. No. No F's in chat. No, it doesn't freeze. God damn it. This game. Okay, now you can put the F's in chat. Now you can all spam F's every... Wait, what? What just happened? I've been kicked back to the lobby screen. You guys can't see this, but it's really weird. Apparently, I can see the lobby screen. I'm just going to close it, though. I don't want to waste any more time because this is actually turning out to be a pretty exciting game. I do apologize. It is still hashtag PUBG in effect for PUBG. Apparently, the app is still running. No, it's not. Let's put on my fancy transitional screen. For those who have not seen this screen, by the way, it is the technical difficulties waiting for response screen. It is also slightly off center, which may trigger some people. So if you do get slightly triggered by misalignment of words, look away now, please. But we will go to a very, very short break, put some tunes on, and we'll be back as soon as it loads in. I do apologize. Once again, hashtag fix PUBG. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, should be getting back into the game. If the game wants to load in for me, come on. Come on, PUBG. There we go. Apparently, Sleepy Gaming's just been eliminated, which is really good timing, by the way, because that was the only team technically eliminated in phase number 3. We do head into phase number 4, as you can see. It's still over Primos, but it does shift away from the water. The land ratio setting does kick in. And Woodsy 832 and Snapshot find themselves inside of this shack, very close by to order. Jukesy's going to push up now. Frag grenades are trying to be thrown in. One more from Jukesy should do the job. They're going to have to exit, vacate, and get out. Snapshot and Woodsy have done just that. Jukesy, though, may actually get taken down here. The aggressive push backfires for order. Snapshot and Woodsy both stay alive, and Jukesy goes down. Order are down to 3 players now. Not only that, but Woodsy and Snapshot can basically just get straight back into the shack without a worry. From the other side of the field for them is the Chiefs, who are up to 6 kills. Edge is just flexing right now. 5 kills to Edge, 1 to Critical Motion. Lynxy all going to push in now for only push. Benchu had stayed behind though. Front tire's been popped somehow though. Lynxy and Bullet L managed to stay alive for now. Bullet gets a headshot onto Tony. Wow, it doesn't stop. What's going to happen? Only push indeed. It's what they've done. But they've died now. Maybe they should not always just only push. And Yasu and Tony Wout will stay as the duo pair here inside of Primorsk. 13 teams now. As only push go out in 14th. Atletico on the coast, just west side of Primorsk. Do have the hill though, which gives them an advantage. They can basically see the entire city just about, but if they do that, they will give their position away to the likes of Avant or possibly even SYF. Now, apparently, Knights Esports inside of this shack behind the Chiefs. Hopefully, for the Chiefs' sake, they don't send someone down similar to Jukesy and lose him. Although, I don't agree with trying to throw the nade into the mail slot window from that sort of distance. You still want to push up a little bit. Now, Cream's going to come out, though, maybe trying to fire a frag grenade knocked down of himself. Has he spotted Critical Motion? Surely he has. He's far outside of the smoke, and that's easy for Crit. Crit knife, indeed. He takes them both out. 3 for Critical Motion, 8 for the Chiefs. And the Chiefs wipe out Knights Esports in 13th position. Down to 12 teams, 32 alive. As we touch on the 23rd minute mark here for game number 2, the final game of Wrangle tonight. As for the amount of teams inside of Primorsk, Surge, Nocturnal, Carnage. You've also got OTG Esports, 404, Pandemic, Suzy still alive inside of that shack. SYF just on the outskirts. And to the far west side for Atletico, as Avant and the Chiefs hold the north side of the zone, and they'll be praying for a northern side shift. They won't want to be pushing into Primorsk. If it does go south into Primorsk, This may turn out to be a very slow finish towards the end. But if it does go north, then, well, it may be a very quick finish, as everyone's going to turn into a blood soup as they come out of the zone. Yes, a blood soup, indeed. It'll be a bloody soup mess. We'll see what's about to happen, though. 3 more seconds until phase number 5. The crate behind resolves. It actually is going to shift over to order, though, towards the eastern side. Does cut out half of Primorsk, though. So it's not as if it's a southern shift and keeping all the Primorsk in. Now, all of a sudden, what you're going to probably see is teams lining up sort of like around these buildings right here. So Surge are on the move. They might take these couple of buildings. These two from Nocturnal may take these, etc. That would be the sort of ideal situation. But as they're all moving, you're going to have some depth here and there. Surge, for example, can sort of try and gatekeep the push from Nocturnal Gaming if they want to. Well, the Cedrics is going to have to heal up here with their first aid kit. Runyo West on the move off the grid esports will take one of the doubles as he pushes up, which may almost sort of create an inadvertent firing line for order here as they can watch some of the teams inside of Primorsk try and move to the outside of Primorsk and to the edge of Primorsk. But they've still got to be careful, though, of the Chiefs more than anything. The Chiefs on the other side of the zone, they don't really have to worry too much. And hey, look where they've finished up. This is where I said the Chiefs should be earlier on, and, well, it's worked out well. Xenox predictions right here. Look at where the Chiefs are. Yep, just saying. And as I said before, teams lining up around the edge of the northern side of Primorsk now, which does mean that Atletico are going to have to push into a position that's not going to be quite as suitable for them. They will spot Avant Gaming, though. The question is, will they sort of get pounced on by Husey inside of the shack? Will they see him coming? Happy to Vitas, though, pounces on Charlie instead. I do see the smokes as well from SYF Gaming down below. So just making sure no one's inside of the shack coming in. But it is going to be taken out by the blue, of course. 1 minute and 13 seconds until phase number 6. Avant trying to push closer towards the Chiefs, but it's only Textile and Resolves that remain. And the Chiefs are just happy to just huddle themselves up inside of that building. If it does go north, by the way, for phase number 6, that road's going to become a factor for both teams. As well, Textile, this is not H1Z1. You can't just launch yourself out of the Dacia. He will go down to Ronan to pick up the kill for order. Resolves now the last one to light for Avant Gaming. Inside of the zone, though, Edge knocked down from Waikikamukia. Nice distance knockdown as Husey will be finished off by Luke 12. Eventually, Atletico, we're always going to have to push into that shack. The Blue Zone's still approaching, and they're still not even inside of the zone, so the shack was really their best opportunity here. Jesus and Zoe just outside of it. 25 more seconds. And still need to make their way into the zone. Nocturnal Gaming are happy to just sit on the far back side of the zone rather than pushing up closer towards the central of the zone and towards the outer of Primorsk. They'll happily stay central of Primorsk for now. It means that it's a defensive hold for them, not looking to take any fight whatsoever. Resolve's able to at least stay alive for now. We are going to be sending this one again over to order. Most importantly, though, if you're a We Back fan, if you're a Snapshot fan, they do not have to move again. Still inside of the shack, still without having to move. And obviously for order, though, this sort of zone is great, don't get me wrong, but they will be slightly wary of this shack and the two members of We Back and what they did to Jukesy. They know that at any moment, these two could come out of the shack and try and come in from behind order when they're in a fight and try and third-party order from behind. Regardless, I think from order's vantage point, though, it's not really that big of an issue. They can keep their eye on the shack from a distance, but most importantly, they're going to now be keeping an eye on Primorsk and all of the teams that's going to be slowly making their way out of Primorsk. They got 4 kills right now, but I wouldn't be surprised to see that double up by the time we're into phase number 7. Obviously, for the Chiefs, it does mean they're going to have to make the move from their building. There is this little shack, though, that is just on the edge of the road, but it does put them below the mountain that Order currently find themselves on. So if they will eventually try to push towards Order, they'll be coming in from below Order. Gives them an advantage. The good news for the Chiefs, though, is they've still got all 4 alive, unlike Order, who've only got 3. As Atletico actually just going to make the push for the shack first. How about that? Finders keepers, and Atletico are going to find the shack before Chiefs can even get here. What this does mean, though, is that it is going to be Chiefs versus Edge. Chiefs versus Edge. Chiefs versus Atletico. On the edge of this zone. That's better. That's how words should be formed in that correct order. Frag grenade's going to be thrown. Tiggleton very low. So is critical motion. Boy, the damage onto the Chiefs. Look at the bottom left of your screen. They have been lit up by Atletico. 1-for-1 trade though. So it may knock down, but so has been critical motion. And Luke 12's in a great position here. Unless Order try and third party this, which if they do, Order can actually third party both the Chiefs and Atletico here in this fight. As it's happening right now, of course, while this is happening, you've also got the fight over towards Primorsk. As they're coming out, OTG Esports and SYF Gaming are going to be fighting. Hipfire spray from Crush, not that effective, but luckily Unique was there as well as he gets the knockdown onto Fico. Unique as well picks up the second one onto Ranye West. Chiefs and Atletico continue to battle it out. Can't even keep up with it all right now. Fights inside of Primorsk, fights on side of the road. Really, the ones not fighting at the moment are Order and SYF apparently have just been eliminated. They've just been eliminated in 10th position. 9th goes OTG. As the Chiefs slowly coming out on top against Atletico. How much of that's, though, because of the influence of Order? You can see, well, pretty big influence in the end. Luke 12 down to just 2 health. Tries to get the spray back into Insight. Too little too late. Had no health. And it will be an elimination or two. Atletico. Avant out in 9th position. OTG Esports stay alive. Spot Sebastian on the tree for Nocturnal Gaming. It's been good for them. Now the push comes from Surge. Guys, it's only phase 6. Save it for phase 7 and 8, 9. We're not done just yet, though, as Tempo will be eliminated. And Sebastian comes up big for Nocturnal Gaming, making their debut here into the Alpha Division. 5 teams remain in the blink of an eye. I say that a lot, but this time it's quite literal. And we back now, coming out of their slumber to see what's remaining. It's almost like a nuclear warfare that's just gone off, and they're in the remains of what is. Surge Esports, 3 kills. Order with 7. I did say it was going to double. Didn't quite get there. I was off by 1 kill. 11, though, for the Chiefs. Nocturnal with 2. And for 4 kills for We Back. 5 teams, 13 alive here at the 30-minute mark of game number 2. The final game of Erangel as well tonight. That was almost like Super Drive mode, though, for PUBG. The mix of the Primorsk fights for all those teams trying to make their way out. But then also the fight between the Chiefs and Atletico, which we knew was going to happen as well. The second Atletico tried to push for that shack, and the Chiefs had the same idea. But fortunately for the Chiefs, they somehow, by the way, come out with all 4 alive from that. That is just disgusting how they've been able to manage to have all 4 alive there. Order obviously had Atletico more so in their sights than they did the Chiefs. The Chiefs were on the backside of that shack. They also had the smokes, whereas Atletico, who were trying to fight the Chiefs, their back was literally to Order. Order could just take down the Atletico one by one. They picked up a couple onto Atletico. Not all of them, though. The Chiefs still did their job. Snapshot going for a late drive, and he gets run over by the bullets of the Chiefs. Critical motion. Actually, wait, what? Biggie J somehow gets the kill at the last second to steal it away from the Chiefs. Kill stolen by Surge Esports. Woodsy 832 stays alive, though, for We Back. And for Order, they actually are down to just 2 players as well. This may be coming down to a Chiefs versus Surge Esports finish if it plays out the way we think it will, which is the numerical advantage and Surge coming in behind Order, the Chiefs coming in front of Order. Sebastian and Woodsy as the solo outlets, the outliers really for this game on the west and east side of the zone. Almost 32 minutes gone. 13 more seconds until phase number 8. Well, definitely phase 7 hasn't quite lived up to what phase 6 brought to us here in this game. Slowing it down just slightly. Mostly due to the fact there's really not a whole lot of information you can gain from this sort of position, and really that will remain to be the same. You can kind of see just this sort of mountain peak to this part of the zone. It just sort of goes up. And climbing up this is not really that safe. You don't want to find yourself up here and then all of a sudden there's 2-3 teams looking down at you, which is sort of what Surge Esports would do to the Chiefs. If the Chiefs were to climb up towards this smoke, by the way, and they were standing around here, Surge Esports would be able to light them up like it's the 4th of July. Whereas for Order, Waikikamuka able to just stay behind his UAZ, Insight, not spotted, because there's this random little dip here at the top. Although I think he's just thrown a smoke in himself. It really wasn't required. Now it definitely gives away his position onto both Insight and to Waikikamuka. You saw the frag grenade that was thrown towards this smoke before, which was thrown out by the Chiefs. And immediately Surge threw a frag grenade into it, suspecting that there was going to be someone inside of there. In the end, though, it wasn't to be the case. It was a decoy smoke, but these are real smokes How many frag grenades are left, though, for Surge Esports? You don't want to be wasting all of them. Just the one left here. Proficient 6. None for Biggie J. None for Cedrix. None for Halty. Surge Esports have got one final frag grenade left here. He'll hold on to it for now. Woodsy has possibly been spotted here, and that's a definite positive 5th position for We Back. Another kill towards Surge Esports, and one of the outlier solo players has been taken down. First contact as well between the Chiefs and Surge here. Obviously a slight separation between the two teams. Sebastian continues to just crawl in for Nocturnal Gaming. And by crawl, I mean quite literally crawl. Insight and Waikiki Mukau, though. One final smoke available for Insight. As for Waikiki Mukau, nothing. Nada. Only 3 first aid kits and 3 bandages. Although may have some stims, not sure what that would be. Medkit available for Insight, but again, only the one smoke grenade left. As for the Chiefs, we'll have a look at their frag situation. 0-0, 1 frag for Potato, and that is it. Not a whole lot of frags available as Waikiki Mukau is going to be spotted and immediately torn to shreds. Chiefs and Surge finally going to begin this battle to climax of game number 2 for the night. P for Potato, knockdown, headshot. Tickleton falls as well, both on the left side. Now that means Edge and Critical Motion need to move over, stop their fight, get the revives before the zone continues to push in. It has stopped, but in 5 seconds time, we go down to the center of the zone. The asterisks right on top of Insight, inside of the smoke right now. Final frag grenade has been thrown out by Surge Esports here. Is it going to collide with Edge? No, it's actually a smoke that was thrown. They may have already thrown all of them. Critical Motion. Biggie J is going to push up. There's the knockdown. P for Potato's low, so easy knockdown. Edge. Last one alive for the Chiefs. Surge Esports surging through. Game number 2 here for the night. They take out the Chiefs. And somehow Insight stays alive throughout all of this. But all 4 members of Surge still alive. And they should be able to deal with Insight. They should be able to deal with Sebastian. This is massive for Nocturnal Gaming, though. 2 kills and a 2nd place finish. You can't go wrong with that if you're Nocturnal Gaming. And your first edition of playing inside of the top tier division here in the Oceanic region. Sebastian, though, could become a cult hero. Surely not. Surely not. Are we seeing the best finish ever? The blue zone cuts him short. Oh, Sebastian almost pulled it off. I would have lost my marbles. But that was such a smart play from Sebastian. It almost came off. If it wasn't phase number 9 and it was like phase 6 or 7, he may very well have pulled off the 1 versus 4. But my goodness, whew, breathe a sigh of relief. If you're Surge Esports, you still come away in first position. You still come away with 11 kills. 5 to Halty, 2 to Proficient 6, 2 to Cedrix, and 2 to Biggie J. Second position, though, for Nocturnal Gaming. The guys from Bravo Division, from the division below, making their debut, pick up the 2 kills thanks to Sebastian and his work in Primorsk, and second position. Third position for Order. They had 7 kills. Another decent placing for them. And for the Chiefs, it all just went wrong towards the end. They fell behind in the fight against Surge, and the pressure from Surge was just paramount. They couldn't come back from that. Still, 11 kills in 4th position. They wouldn't be too disappointed with that. 5th position for We Back, another top 5 placing. They had 4 kills as well. As we go to the break, we're going to switch over. We're going to slap on our sunscreen, put on our bucket hats, and we're going to head to the sandy deserts of Miramar. Stay tuned and enjoy the tunes.
Play it safe. That's what you said to me. Times have changed. That's the way it should be. I wanna lose control. I'm tired of driving slow. This world can be so cold, and I wanna feel the fire. We've got to line it up, 'cause I know the waiting games are for fools. Let's break all the rules. We should be reckless, doing the things we know we shouldn't do. We should be doesn't matter to me. Take these shoes, watch me run through these streets. Hey, I wanna lose control. I'm tired of driving slow. This world can be so cold, and I wanna feel the fire. We got to line it up, cause I know the waiting games are for fools. Let's break all the rules. We should be reckless, doing the things we know we shouldn't do. We should be reckless, forget what we knew, forget what we knew. We should be reckless, doing the things we know we shouldn't do. We should be reckless, forget what we knew, forget what we knew. Forget what we knew, forget what we knew. We should be reckless. We should be reckless. Forget what we knew, forget what we knew.
I've been fucked up for 13 days. I don't wanna face my feelings. Maybe if I just hide away, I'll forget your name. It's times like this that I don't even wanna try. I told my friends I might not make it out tonight. You're stuck in my head and I can't get you out. You out. Like no matter how many damn pills I take, no matter what I do, I've got this heartbreak. And you're like no one to blame. It's all because of It's all because of you. It's all because of It's all because of you. It's all because of you. I try to go out, but all I see is shadows and blurry faces. Your love is all I really need, but you don't want me. It's times like this that I don't even wanna try. I told my friends I might not make it out tonight. You're stuck in my head and I can't get you out. You out. Like no matter how many damn pills I take, no matter what I do, I've got this heartbreak. And you're the one to blame. It's all because of you. It's all because of you. It's all because of you.
sun goes down, my spirit's free. Nothing left but our energy. Take my hand, we can go and see a world unknown. Come explore with me. Explore with me. Yeah. Explore with me now. Explore with me now.
Say, would you believe me if I told you that I'm not okay? I'm really trying to be strong, but I can't see it straight. It's like the earth is on my shoulders, kind of strange. Too many bad things on my mind, but now I can feel it. Fuck, I need it. It's been easy since you came around. I can feel it. Fuck, I need it. Been too easy.
Hey, stop swearing. This is a PG stream. What is this song? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the third game of the evening. I got this lady streaming, swearing in the background. Wow, whoa, what's happening here? What's happening here? Hang on. What's going on here? What are you guys doing? This is too early. We haven't even gone to Xenox Cam. Do we not want to see my face? Crush has been taken down already. Apparently that's why Gaming and We Back just sort of dropping both on Tierra Bronca together. Now this is not good for SYF. SYF Gaming generally take Tierra Bronca, Torre Ayumara, and Campo Militar. They are greedy. They are a greedy bunch, don't get me wrong. Now they're sort of stranded and they don't even have Cruz del Val. Yeah. Stop swearing, by the way. Oh, hey guys. Welcome to game number 3. By the way, the black screen will go shortly. Come on. Just gonna give it a push. There we go. Before I start anything, I've got a serious matter to attend to. Whoever it was in chat that was talking shit about my curtains. Right here, these things. I don't like you. You made me very upset when I read that. Hurt my feelings. You guys can talk shit about my casting or whatever. Not my curtains! My curtains! What did they do? What did they do? They're just there. They're just hanging there. I mean, they could probably do with a wash, but that's about it. Alright. That's enough about that. I thought I had to get that out of the way. Game number 3. By the way, as you can see down below, the backdrop for my face cam now is Miramar because we're on Miramar. How cool's that? We are switched on here at PUBG BrawlFest, powered by GLL, of course, and powered by 1UP Entertainment too. As we head into Miramar, of course, things shift here tonight. It is 200 angle into a Miramar. We've played our 200 angle now. It was Atletico taking out game number 1. And Surge Esports coming up big in game number 2. Against the likes of Water and against the likes of Chiefs towards the end. But let's go through the teams and where they've landed here in Miramar. By the way, the zone northwest. We'll get to that in a minute when we get off face cam. We've got plenty of time. Barely even 4 minutes into here. And they like to take their sweet time looting. Down in Chumacara. I love pronunciations here in Miramar. For Surge Esports, our winners, of course, from game number 2 of the night. Los Leones for Order and Carnage, pretty standard. Order like to hold the western outskirts side of Los Leones rather than going fully into the city. Carnage on the north side. Picardo for Team 404, also their standard looting location. And in Monte Nuevo for Atletico. El Pozo for only push onto the western side as Snapshot's going to be knocked out. Man, these guys! Snapshot eliminated. We're just going to have to transition. I can't do this. Bye-bye. Yep. And I'm sure everything will stop now, by the way. Black screen should go away. Rab's trying to get behind the rock here. Away from Unique. Payback from SYF Gaming, though, after losing Crush early on. Now, getting Snapshot. And they're about to finish off Rabs as well. Which will only leave Juice X as the last remaining player for WeBank. A team that finished top 5 in both games of Erangel have now just got a solo player left here for the first game of the night on Miramar. As Juice X goes past Tore Ayumara. Whew. Man, I didn't even get to go through all of the teams. Archaic towards Power Grid. Towards La Cabriera for Sleeper Gaming. And Creative Fields actually for the other two members of Archaic. Generally, Chiefs looting around. Hacienda del Patron. Usually it's also Team Immunity and San Martin. I'm not sure if I saw a team looting around San Martin this game. Minas Generales for Off the Grid Esports. Fico Runyo West, Tempo and Power AU. And Al Azahar for Avant Gaming. No teams along the southeastern side or the southwestern side around the Valle del Mar. Knights Esports also just south of Picardo. But, regardless, we are heading towards the northwestern side of the zone here on Miramar. As now, Somatic will get a knockdown onto Sammy. Easy kill as well. And generally on Miramar, we don't sort of see this, at least in the Oceanic region, we don't tend to see these sort of early deaths or early fights in the way that we saw SYF Gaming and WeBank. And the reason why that fight happened was just simply because 3 teams dropping around the location that SYF generally will loot, causing them to fight early with WeBank. But then because they wanted some revenge, they stuck around. They waited for WeBank to rotate out of Tierra Bronca and they caught them off guard, picking up 3 kills. Juice X, you can see all the way up there. I think this is Oasis, if I remember correctly, for its name, or at least its correct name. Resolve's going past SYF as well. Almost like the road bandits at the moment, just trying to catch any plays that they can along the road. And that's something they've done well. Sebastian now, almost hero from game number 2 at the end, who almost really would have been a highlight reel specialist around the world if he had to pull off that 1 versus 4, but he attempted it, and I like to see that. And it almost came off. He got 2 of them, but the damage from the blue zone was just way too much. As Edge going to be knocked down by Somatic, also finished off as well. Somatic with 2 early kills here for Archaic. Put the music away as we get towards the action. Also, for those who aren't aware and don't generally watch my streams that I generally do, Miramar is not that kind for my PC. It is slightly more laggy than Erangel, at least until the end. Then it does start to smooth off a bit. So I do apologise in advance for that. PV Potato going past Sleeper Gaming. Somatic watching on from a distance. Actually going to fire now. No. Now he does. What has... Is there anyone even inside of that pickup truck? Where did that pickup truck come from? There's nobody else around here. There's just a random pickup truck driving off. It came down this hill. I mean, it must have been from the player that Somatic killed before. He's still going too, by the way. Oh, no, he stopped now. P for Potato is going to have to crash land himself into a compound. As SYF going to come in around the side of La Cabriera, and of course on Miramar. The playstyle is a bit different on Miramar. You're going to see longer range encounters, not so much that close quarter combat action that we ironically saw sort of at the beginning of the game from SYF and WeBank, and it's just something you don't expect to see this early on. And again, it's happening here. Charlie Yajra picks up the kill. And for a map that, at least in the Oceanic region, that we don't tend to see this sort of amount of deaths this early on, like 7 kills already inside 9 minutes is almost unheard of on Miramar. The map is just so big and wide and spacious that you, even sort of just deaths on rotation don't tend to happen that early into phase number 1. More so for phase number 2. And yet, here we are. in a scenario where on the first game of the night on Miramar, Phase 1 has become a bit of a bloodbath. Frozen unable to land any shots there really onto Vasily as he drives on by for a Bart Gaming result. I was watching on, actually spotting Razant. Knew he'd spotted it, I nearly heard the shots, didn't know he could actually spot him from here. He looks a lot closer on the map than he does in game though, to be fair. As he's just trying to blow out the tyre. Big boy Maka with the knockdown to Runye West. It's Pandemic Esports now, who are the Road Bandits. They get the double knockdown. Fico goes down to Husey from the other side. Husey is just like sort of pulling over in the middle of the road to get that knockdown onto Fico. And so for Off The Grid Esports, two of their players will be eliminated. And Husey takes him out in style, just rams him with his vehicle. The textile vase from above now for Avant Gaming. Husey just going to have to heal on up behind his pickup truck. Although you won't want to be sitting behind the pickup truck too long. You want to use it as your getaway vehicle. Yashra spinning out in the middle of the road. Kamsi snipes him with the car 98 from behind and above. And Nocturnal Gaming lose their member. They're down to 3 players alive. Chichan, AC, and Sebastian. Just on the side of the Crater Fields crater. Whatever this area is called. I'm actually not sure what the official name is for this area. Sort of reminds me of a power plant. Power plant field? Power plant crater, possibly. Could shorten it to PP crater if we want to. Only push. And they played with Weezy in game number 1. Bullet Owls come in for games 2 and 3. Did mention earlier that they do have a 5-man roster. As we are 2 seconds away now from phase number 2. And he's going to shift down to the southwestern side towards El Pozo. Monte Nuevo also still in, but because it's so south side and on the edge of the zone, not expecting really anyone to actually push into Monte. But El Pozo, on the other hand, considering its place within the zone, expecting at least 1 or 2, maybe 3, 4 teams possibly to make their way into the zone. Apparently, I just pressed a button, something happened, I don't know. And it scared me for a second because it said reconnect a match, and I was like, what? So G Sports looking for back-to-back chicken dinners here on Miramar. Or just in general. Guys, I know you like to run each other over, but Cedric's got a bit too close to Halty there. He did kind of carry you in the last game. Like 12's got to be careful. Green PTC suspect close by here from Knights Esports. There's Parry. You're going to get taken down by non-reg. Most of the team's now just rotating down south towards the south side of El Pozo rather than going inside of the city itself. Shim2G and Lynxie, though, will hold north side. Bullet Al Banshee inside of El Pozo. So again, to mention, there will be a couple of teams that do go in. Critical Motion, though. What are you doing, buddy? You're trying to merge and blend in with order right now. They are hot on your tail. .5 minutes gone. As Happy Navitas did get a knockdown onto Cedric's Critical Motion. He's going to be able to find a way out of this sort of scenario. He's got all 4 members of order on the other side of this building. If he goes inside, he may get hunted down. But if he stays outside, at least maybe has an opportunity to try and catch one of them on the angle. Because order also kind of getting pressured here, I believe, by 404. How'd you end with the Mini 4X? Wanting Jukesy actually on top of the roof, managing to get up there. Gets him down a half health. Nicely done by Howard Juent. Luke 12 now knocked down onto Cedric Surge Esports, getting corralled by Athletic on the other side of the road from a distance. They can pull up for now, but they've lost Cedric's entirely. Over towards the northern side, Piva Potato just slowly making his way in. Atletico an extremely split scenario. They've already lost Edge. Tickleton making his way in past San Martin. And Piva Potato from the north side past the Crater Fields. And, well, Critical Motion is where he is right now, which is in a horrible spot. Yeah, let's put it that way. He is not in a great spot. Less than ideal for critical motion. The real question is, does Order know about crit here? I think they do now. It seems as if they do. So actually going to try and throw the Molotov. I'm not sure what that's going to achieve. Interestingly enough, though, 404's No Mercy in how she went helping out critical motion here. They can't spot crit, but they can spot Order. And Order are now moving away from critical motion's position. Gets a reprieve and lifeline. As for Sleepy Gaming, we back SYF. Archaic, and only push all inside of El Pozo. Straight against with the knockdown onto Floods as soon as SYF started to come in. Gonna throw out the frag grenade, we'll give it a follow, but I don't sense it's gonna have any sort of distance to it to get next to SYF. Merrick will be able to get the revival into Flood as well. So 15 more seconds until phase number 3. The question now for going into phase number 3 will simply be, will teams be able to get outside of El Pozo but shifts down south? And if they will it be similar to what we saw in Primorsk at the end of game number 2? We may only be going into phase 3, but if ours go hard shifting south, that would have been the case. That won't be the case, though. It shifts onto El Pozo. It actually does in case the majority of the teams in their current locations, as is already. Avant Gaming towards the far western side, towards the blue, will have to make their way in, as Tickleton did get knocked down in the open fields, just to the... Oh, boy, that's just somatic. That's not nice. Talk about cruel and impassionate to just run over Tickleton like that. 4 kills now for Archaic. But as you can see, the eastern side of El Pozo with this wheat field, really not an area you want to try and push in and push through. But if I'm going to have to probably more than likely come in from the northern side of El Pozo, or at least the northeastern side of El Pozo, which is what Nocturnal Gaming are doing now from the north side as they push in. Chi-Chen. What just happened there? Apparently goes down to 18 health, and the bike just tried to kill him. Cold-blooded murder almost on stream from a bike onto Chi-Chan. Sebastian and AC07 making their way in now. Extreme 2G and Lexi will also have to meet up. You can see the 2-2 split that Only Push tried to operate, which was not a bad idea, but had it completely hard shifted towards north, towards Crater Fields, they would have had Lexi and Extreme 2G in a marvelous position outside of El Pozo. Unlikelihood that anyone was going to rotate in from the Crater Fields. They would have been perfectly well placed. Luckily, they had Bullet L and Benshu where they are, which allows Extreme 2G and Lexi to now come in through El Pozo towards Benjamin Bullet L's position. 2-2 split as well for Yasu and Firefall, and for No Mercy and How's You Went for 404. P4 Potato has himself a neighbor in Juice X from Weeback. I guess the way that P4 Potato pretty much has to play this game now is almost as if he is a solo player. Critical motion is so far away, so for the Chiefs, it's like they've basically got 2 rank tankers now performing for both of them. As Extreme 2G and Lexi do make it over to their teammates, Holty with a knockdown into Cream PTC down to the southwestern side of the zone. Suspect will throw out the smoke grenade. Holty, I think, is priming up a frag grenade to throw over, but that is just not even close. Not going to make the distance at all. But it does give Knights at least an avenue in terms of where they know their opponent is, and they are close by. As Happy gets the bleed out kill onto Firefall. Carnage Esports, far down south into the zone though. I did say that majority of the players were already inside of the zone heading into phase number 3. Pandemic Esports though, with their Resin and Big Boy Macca split, aren't inside of the zone. Avant Gaming aren't inside of the zone either until Vasily makes his way into El Pozo now, which he should be able to. Made it across the road as well. Smart push from Avant because they don't want to be pushing through the wheat field as Order are continuing to just be held back by 404. Thanks with a headshot onto Raffi, but it's pretty much just long range and inside of El Pozo. Raffi behind cover, smokes out. We'll be able to get revived. And stock standard affair here on Miramar. Medium to long range encounters, headshots here and there, knockdowns, etc. But easy revives due to the amount of cover there is. I mean, Miramar is a map that's just got a lot of cover. A lot of buildings, a lot of compounds, a lot of shacks. Lots of places to hide behind. Even inside of the cities, there's just so many objects that are inside of the city as well, that do provide an immense amount of cover here towards El Pozo. 7 more seconds until phase number 4. And it will shift towards Order, towards the southeastern side of the zone, slightly away from El Pozo. It does still have sections of it in the areas that Arcade can only push locate themselves currently. Still inside of El Pozo. The wheat field, though, now does prove to be a promising prospect here for the remainder of this game. We are only into phase 4, and it could continue to shift towards the eastern side of the zone. And if it does, well, then we're heading to that wheat field. As for Knights Esports heading towards the zone, trying to make their way in, gets past Atletico for the time being. Atletico, 2 kills at the moment, shot from Happy to Beaters, suspect down a half health. Going to get the knock on the solo B? No, not going to connect that time. And he misses the 3rd shot there altogether. We'll have to reload the M24 now. It does have the 8x. Gives him a huge opportunity to get the knock as Jesus gets the confirmed kill onto Cream. Now 3 kills for Atletico. 20.5 minutes gone here for game 3 of the night. Carnage moving up now. They're trying to move in with Critical Motion. He does show himself now. Only has the 1 frag grenade here. 1 Molotov as well. He's got an underarm throw. Sunny, I think, was waiting for that. We'll move away from it. So Crit unable to achieve anything with the frag. Throws out the Molotov in what I consider suspect that he's getting pushed, but he's not. Carnage not really looking to push this right now. Obviously, Order are sort of watching from above as this happens down below them. They actually haven't got the sight line of these buildings from where they are, I don't believe. Jukesy maybe if he peeks over, but if he does peek over, then 404 can actually spot Order. So Order can't really fight this against Carnage and Chiefs. When I say Chiefs, I mean Critical Motion. .5 minutes, 16 teams. Stark contrast to what we saw in game number 2, where I think by this point we probably had only about 10 or so teams. And then from there after that, really going into, I think it was phase 6 was the bloodbath phase. I'll see where if that will happen again here. We have had 16 deaths though this game. So 16 teams, 48 alive. We started with 64 alive. So it basically just comes down to the fact that for a lot of the teams, they've already lost 1 or 2 players. Some have lost all 3. SYF, who did lose Crush very early on to Weeback and got their revenge. ACO7 for Nocturnal Gaming, trying to get past Luke 12 and Happy Davidas. They did get him down a half health. Critical Motion actually, by the way, got a knockdown onto Sunny. And now Critical Motion fighting outside of the building, expecting remonstration from the rest of Carnage. Gets off the med kit. But will he actually just push back in if he can? Maybe he gets untainted and Sunny, which would mean it would be a 1 versus 2 from there onwards as Zoidmate goes down to Suspect. Knights always close by to Atletico, but it wasn't really that close to each other because Atletico, as you can see, Jesus pushes over this edge. He can get spotted by Holty. Instead, he holds the edge and just makes sure that no one's going to spot him from the other side of the hill, from the other side of the road. Is Proficient knocked down by the play zone. 2 crates had landed onto the western side of Alponso, but everyone had shifted by then, leaving them to just go to waste. I'm very intrigued, though, as to what's going to happen with this Critical Motion situation, especially when the next zone is going to most likely shift away from there. Ronan's pushed up to the wheat fields, by the way, almost in anticipation of the eastern push that may very well come here with phase number 5. It's not going to be east, it's going to be west. Over towards the big mountain just south of El Pozo, which has got Avant Gaming and Atletico already on top, along with Yasu. Suspect on the right side of the road needs Solo B to come over as well. And it's Hao Yuen and No Mercy. The question is, will they hold their position for the time being, knowing that Order, Carnage all need to move into the zone from this side of the field? They should have sightlines as they start to push in. Hao Yuen and No Mercy, even possibly Yasu, can really try and get Carnage and Order, as Critical Motion will finally go down. Hold on for as long as he could, but really just wasn't going to be able to survive that much longer in the end for the Chasers. Holty now comes up close and personal with Solo B. Gets the spray knocked down, and he will get the execution. First kill of the game for Surge Esports. Fresh off their win from game 2, but it's not looking prominent for them. Holty is the only one remained. Atletico have just been bombed out. Flood has sent the big dogs packing in last position. Atletico, well, quite literally bomb out in last position. 6 kills now for SYF Gaming, as apparently Tempo blows himself up after taking out Sebastian. 15th position for Off the Grid Esports. Results going to be knocked down by Benshu. P for Potato. Oh, didn't even have time to click on him. He's made his run. Taken down by It Shuggles. Chiefs out in 14th position. Juice X for Weeback. Has the first aid kit. Gets it off, but he waits. Shaggles. Will he be able to get a second one here and take another team out as Jukesy gets knocked down by Vasily? Juice X makes his move, but Shaggles is not in the same position that he was when he saw Potato making his move. They're about to just come out at the same time here, but Shaggles is going to be moving towards Full Chaos and Stray Against towards his team and away from Juice X, which may give Juice X an opportunity here to push forward. Does still have 2 more first aid kits now inside of the zone and away from the blue again, but he may wait for as long as possible here before moving past. Chi-Chan's going to take the brunt of the damage of Bullet L for only push. Big boy Maka knocked down. Resin trying to move in now for Pandemic Esports. Last one alive for them. Takes the damage from Vasily. Gets behind and away, but it's going to be from Textile. Double trouble from Avant Gaming onto Pandemic Esports. One from behind and one from front. He gets them both in the end. It is only the double, though, for Avant Gaming remaining and Vasily and Textile. 25 minutes and 53 seconds transpiring as Order make their way as 4 close towards Yasu for Team 404. No mercy, and How Juen were unable to spot them as they made their way into this zone. They did get Carnage, though. Now, but coming in from behind, Yasu just gets completely blindsided by Order Army. Will get knocked down. Yasu had all 4 of the kills so far for Team 404. But he won't be getting any more now as Order are going to take control of this section of the zone. But it does continue to just shift away from Order, but to shift away from the majority of teams. Sunny, Suspect, Halty. Are they the 3 solo players? They are indeed, that are inside of this zone as SYF on the western side will be moving in. This is not bad either for Sleeper Gaming, by the way. They will have to get Full Chaos and Stray Against across the road, but there's no one really going to be keeping an eye on them. Chi-Chan will go down for Nocturnal Gaming, 12th position for them. Bali and Rafi, it's not looking good either. Pinned down by Order and from Only Push as well. 2 kills for Only Push, looking to make it 4. The kills may get stolen here by Order, who are quite a distance away, but they got the sight to see them. It's Extreme 2G now actually spotting Sleeper Gaming. Knights will be eliminated. Suspect gets pushed on by SYF Gaming, and the numbers have the advantage. Yasu will be finally bleeding out to Insight. And it seems as if Insight and Jukesy moving towards Textile and Vasily. They hear the shots from Avant Gaming, who are firing as well towards Archaic. Which means for Archaic, really, 3 teams are trying to actually take out Archaic right now. 27.5 minutes, 10 teams, 23 alive. No one's necessarily going to want to try and push to the center of the zone here. It's going to be edge play from here. Order are doing an amazing job, though, of controlling as much of the edge as possible. Confirming, well, I was going to say they confirmed southeastern side, but they didn't because No Mercy and How Juen are still there. Finally, Archaic go down. It was always to be expected. Juice X to follow. 9th position for Weeback, 10th for Archaic. Vasily knocked down, and Textile's got all of Order to deal with. Insight was knocked down, though, as Jukesy steals the kill away from Linksy. Picks up yet another one for Order now. But Textile will hold firm. The question is, though, can Only Push spot him from here? Yes, they can. Linksy from behind the tree. That will be the end of Textile. Kill not stolen that time around from Only Push. Now they push up. That's what they do quite well, though. Sleeper Gaming, though, trying to punish them for the push. Coming in late. They are pushing in with the blue. So there's a pressure from the blue, but now also the pressure from Sleeper Gaming, making it difficult for Only Push. Benchu knocked down by Full Chaos. It's going to be left behind as well. No saving him. Lexi to fire back now towards its Shaggles. Goes prone. Ironically, that was actually a great position to go prone because the branch on that tree blocked the vision of Linksy. Nice shot, though, from Linksy on Australia Cans. Now spawns its Shackles again. He gets the double onto Sleeper Gaming. Full Chaos is right in front of him, though. What a push from Full Chaos. Maybe he should be joining Only Push instead of Sleeper Gaming. He ain't sleeping. He definitely woke right now as he pushes in. 29 minutes. Full Chaos, 6 health. Actually not inside of the zone. Has to push with it. Did that bounce off Full Chaos or bounce off the ground? I think it bounced off the ground. It was almost like a leg spin from Shane Warren. This is with the end of Full Chaos. Bullet out with 6 health. Linksy also very low. Going to be knocked down altogether now by Waiki Kamukau. Insight back up, by the way. He was knocked down before. 4 up for Order as they start to run right with this zone, controlling the eastern side of it. Sunny has held his position in literally one of the only bush plants that there are here on Miramar. He's behind it. But behind him is SYF Gaming, and surely his legs will stick out like a sore thumb. He ain't going to be invisible for much longer. As long as SYF do the right job, sweep the area correctly, Merrick should be able to spot him. Oh, come on. Come on, Merrick. Put your big boy glasses on. Spot him. There you go. It's actually unique. Merrick took too long. 9 kills, though, for SYF Gaming. Carnage out in 5th. Down to the final 4 teams. SYF only push order. And for Team 404, 4 kills. 4th place for 404. This could be the it. This could be it for them. No kills yet for No Mercy and How's You Went. They need to change that, though, if they want to take out the chicken dinner here. So Mikey Kamukau putting the pressure onto Extreme 2G. Bullet L, go prone. Juicy knocked down by No Mercy. It's 404. Open things up to double knock from No Mercy onto Ronan, and Juicy goes prone and avoids inside Mikey Kamukau's retaliation shots. Gets off the first aid kit, and 404 changed the entire dynamics of this game. Extreme 2G and Bullet L going to push up now onto Insight and Waikiki Kabukau. They don't even have time to go and help out Ronan and Juxie and get the revives, as Bullet L will get knocked down by Insight. Extreme 2G prone right in front of Insight. And a slight little ditch in front of him, but he doesn't have the first aid kit. Stimming up, does have bandages if he wants to use them, along with some smoke grenades as well. Waikiki Kamukau in Insight, though. We spotted the head for a split second. Forced out the shots from Extreme 2G. Stands up now. Does he get Waikiki Kamukau? How did those shots not land from Extreme? And it's an extreme whiff from Extreme 2G, and only push go out in 4th position. Now we've got ourselves a 2 versus 3. SYF Gaming all of a sudden have now got the numerical advantage in this scenario for the final 3 teams of game number 3 on the night. And in 3 seconds time we go to phase 8 and see which side is going to get favoured. It'll be 404. SYF slightly though as well. They are close to it as Waikiki Kamukau and Insight will have to shift down to the south. They may be into the sightlines of both 404 and SYF. If SYF and 404 don't actually spot each other here, or take the fight against each other, and they both look towards the north, they may be able to actually take out Waikiki Kamukau and Insight together, almost as if they're teaming up in a way. As we touch on the 32-minute mark, phase 8, 34 more seconds until the blue zone will restrict the play area once again. 11 kills for SYF Gaming, 4 kills for 404. Interestingly enough, SYF taking the kills, I believe, of the knockdowns that How's You End and No Mercy achieved earlier on onto Order. As Waikiki Kamukau and Insight, 7 kills for Order. They do spot SYF, but they are behind here 2-3 in this sort of fight. They're also behind in terms of the fact they're not inside of the zone. Waikiki Kamukau stays behind. Insight will push up with the Scar L. As Waikiki Kamukau with the SKS from behind will provide some overwatch to try and help out Insight from afar, from a distance. This is fine for 404. They continue to just watch on from a distance and hope that sort of these two teams just bang each other up and take each other out. I think Insight just spotted How's You End jumping up and down from a distance, and How's You End now fires towards Waikiki Kamukau, forces him to go prone. Does give over some information for SYF in terms of 404's location and where they are at. Also now knowing that possibly they're also firing towards Order, they would know that, hang on, these guys aren't firing towards us, they may be firing towards the guys we are firing at. And it is coming to fruition in terms of what I was talking about. 33 minutes gone now. 3rd game of the night. One more game to come after this. It will also be on Miramar. And that will also then be the last game of the night after this game. 10 more seconds until we go to our final phase. Phase number 9. But it looks as if it is going to be SYF versus 404 now taking place. It has turned into a bit of a free-for-all. And this may allow Order to actually third party onto SYF with help from 404, which ironically speaking is the best case scenario for Order. They can either take the fight single-handedly versus 404, which is 2 versus 2, or they can third-party SYF, or they can third-party 404. Why not? They get the knockdown onto How's You End from Insight. No Mercy now. No Man's Land, and he goes down. 404 out in 3rd position. This is not what Order wanted. Now it's a 3 versus 2 scenario. But an early knockdown will make it a quick 2 versus 2 from then onwards. So if they can get that Insight, though, chunked, heavily damaged, Waikiki Kamukau will fall back behind the rock. See if he can get a knockdown back. Flood and Merrick, along with Unique. But Unique stays behind. It's Flood and Merrick who move up towards Insight's position. Waikiki Kamukau, dangerous push. If Unique had pushed up here, may have spotted Waikiki Kamukau. Just wanted to push closer towards the center of the zone, though. Flood peeks up and down, see if he can spot anything, but he can't. You'd have to go all the way to the top of this little ridge. Frag grenade's perfect from Insight. Massive chunk. Will Waikikimukau take the fight? No, he's going to get spotted by Unique. Now only Insight remains for Order in a 1 versus 3. But Flood and Merrick are both at about half health. Wouldn't take too much to actually get the knockdowns onto them. Unique, on the other hand, at about 80 health or so. And no frag grenades remaining for Insight. Does spot Unique. Would have been a massive headshot if he had got that. Merrick, by the way, healing up while this was all taking place. Now Flood heals up as well. Makes it extremely difficult for Insight. Oh, he just got a big chunk by the blue. Down to 12 health. Unfortunate timing for Insight. Regardless, Merrick spots him. 14 kill win for SYF Gaming. As they come up clutch in the end. Order unable to take out the 2 versus 3 fight. And they will, though, at least come out in 5th position. No, my playlist has just been deleted off YouTube. Oh man, that's just killed my vibe. Really? That is horrible timing. Horrible timing. We'll go with this one. This will do. Oh god, I gotta find another playlist again. Alright guys. 14 kill win for SYF Gaming. 2nd place for Order. They came away with 8 kills as well. 3rd position for Team 404 with the 4 kills from Yasu as well. 4th position for Only Push, as they had finished off as well. 2 kills to Benchu, 3 to Lynxy, 1 to Extreme 2G, 1 to Bullet L, 7 kills in total. And 5th position for Carnage, just the singular kill to Wolf. We've got one more game though coming up for you after the break, so make sure you stay tuned. Appreciate the tunes. I hope they're good. I'm not sure. First time using this playlist, but stay tuned regardless. If you do, you get to see my face after the break. Yeah, be back shortly.
I've let you down so many times, been bad for a minute. Sometimes I don't know my own mind, but I know that my heart's still in it. Stay with me now, and bear with me too. I'm a work in progress. Don't give up on me now. Don't give up on me now. You and I, we will get there somehow. Don't give up on me, eh. Don't let go of me now. Don't let go of me now. You and I, we will get there somehow. Give me just a little more time, just a little more time. Just a little more time. Just a little more. Don't give up on me, eh. Just a little more. Just a little more. Just a little more time. Don't give up on me, eh. there's a mouth. Don't give up on me, eh. Don't let go of me now. Don't let go of me now. You and I, we will get there somehow. Give me just a little more time, just a little more time. Don't give up on me, eh. 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 Just a little more, just a little more, just a little more time. Just a little more, just a little more, just a little more time. Just a little more, just a little more, just a little more time. Just a little more, just a little more, just a little more time. closer now, the stars appear. We climb so high, 100 trees. So don't look down, just follow me. Leaning on a photograph, and our memories, they come alive. Lay me down, you slip right off my mind.
was thinking about the day we met, when the love came rushing out and you were empty-handed, filled with regret. I was thinking about the day we met, when the love came rushing out and you were empty-handed, filled with regret. Our love is running out. Our love is running. Our love is running. Our love is running out. Our love is running, running, running out.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everything in between, for the final game of the night here for the PUBG BrawlFest Alpha Division. Hello, how are we? How's things going? Tell me about your life. Tell me. You can talk to Xenox. Or we can just watch PUBG. Yeah, black screen. Thank you. Let's watch some PUBG. Don't worry about me. Final game of the night here for week 3 of the PUBG Alpha BrawlFest division. It was just a mess. Final game. Been some pretty good games tonight. I still think game 2 on a angle was up there for one of the best 5-minute patches of PUBG that I've seen in the Oceanic region for a long time. Coming out of Primorsk, that was an absolute mess. Miramar obviously is a little bit slower than in Erangel. I'd say it's maybe the map is a big reason for it, but obviously in the Oceanic region, it's still not as well known to the players in terms of the best things to do, the best places to be, and even in some cases, some teams actually in tournaments like this, where you got the bottom 4 that go down and the top 4 from Bravo come in. You got teams that are mix and matching, and then on Miramar that becomes a massive factor. And we saw it before last game in game number 3 for SYF Gaming, which interestingly enough they went on to win the game anyway. But they had 3 teams dropping around their looting location. They still went on to win the game. So it's not everything, but it's still something. It's still something. But let's get into this one. Looks like we've got ourselves a stock standard circle. Slightly down to the south, relatively central. No water in play. Los Leones, of course, with order. Carnage, We Back. Stock standard just north of Carnage is Pandemic Esports as well. And for Off the Grid Esports, Team in Orange, Minas Generales and La Bendita for them. Picardo for 404. South of them is Knights. Chimicara for Surge Esports. We weren't really able to back up their Game 2 chicken dinner at all. Sometimes it just doesn't go that way. It's hard to do it twice in a row. Montenuevo for Atletico. Albozo for Only Push. La Cobriera for Sleepy Gaming. Nocturnal Gaming around Water Treatment. And Hacienda del Patron for the Chiefs. Al Azhar for Avant Gaming. And around Power Grid for Archaic. So no teams in Impala. No teams in Porto Paraíso. I don't think any team has dropped at Porto tonight. One game there was a team in Impala. Valla del Mar's been pretty vacant as well. And Cruz del Valle has also been extremely quiet tonight, even for SYF standard, who have been mostly focusing on Ayamada and Campo Militar. A lot of the teams already inside of this zone, though, of course, already. And I think because of that, it's going to be a really quiet Phase 1. I sense the teams that are around Los Leones won't really move that far from here. You'll most likely see Off the Grid Esports as well around Minas Generales grouped together around a specific location, which will allow the likes of Avant to come in and find a spot just north of Pandemic and around where Off the Grid Esports is. SYF is a team that likes to rotate. I wouldn't be surprised to see SYF rotate eastern side along the coast, come down the eastern coast, and then come into the zone around Impala Way. Something like that. Most likely. Atletico are already on the western side, which the western side's not looking too congested at the moment. Although only push is also going to most likely come in from the similar vicinity. Extreme 2G going to go past Exoid Mate. And he's fine. But that's going to be it for me and my face cam. We're going to go into the game. Yeah. I don't know why I do half the things I do. The song's name is The Vibe of a Mango. Man, this playlist has got some bangers already. 6.5 minutes into game number 4. Final game of the night. And for the week. Here for the Alpha Division's Critical Motion. Close by to order. Again. Deja vu for Critical Motion. We saw it in game number 3 when he was at those buildings in order. We're right outside behind him. Tough position for the Chiefs, who did very well in Wrangle tonight, but have struggled on Miramar. What? Double knockdown. Resident Wolf both shooting at the exact same time. Picking up the double knockdown onto Ronan and Y-Kicker Mukau for order. And look how far away Dukes and Inside are as well. They're going to get cleaned up. That's also going to relieve a massive amount of pressure onto Critical Motion, who now doesn't have to really worry about order above him. There's no order above him anymore. As Tiggleton picks up the kill onto Husey. He can go and meet up with Critical Motion as well. Things turning around here for the Chiefs. Here for the final game of the night. At least for now. It can all change in the blink of an eye though. As P for Potato and Edge coming in now past Non-Reg and Somatic. Although they weren't really ready for P for Potato and Edge to drive by. And therefore not able to really get an efficient spray onto them. SKS though. Not going to change anything. Parayu is still inside of La Bendita, but Ranier West and Figo going to start to meet up. And they stock stand central of the zone. No teams towards Graveyard or Minas or Hacienda. And the real question for me, the 404 leave Picardo here. It's not exactly edge of the zone. But where do they go to here at this point if they want to leave it? Do they just shift down to Hao Juen's location? Yes, it's a spot that can get more information around this sort of area of the zone. But then you've also got to cross the road at some point. Whereas Picardo, it's kind of already done it for you in a way. From where Firefall is, you don't have to really cross that far. So 404 on the move, it seems. May make their way down to the west of Los Leones or around this sort of location, which is where Insight and Jerksy remain for order after losing 2 of their players early. Textile's got to be careful here, going past Nocturnal Gaming. Textile down to half health. The sprays from Nocturnal Gaming weren't too bad after all. Big boy Macca knocked down. Now by Cedrix from Surge Esports, who are in behind Pandemic Esports. Okay, just situating themselves just to the northeast of Picardo. Jesus, knocked down by Suspect on rotation as well, so I don't sense he's going to get revived here, and that's going to be the case. Suspect will confirm the kill. AWM as well. Using the AWM to confirm a kill. It's down to 18 bullets. You want to try and conserve that ammunition for as long as possible. So just knockdowns really everywhere, and it's really hard to judge who's going to get a knockdown. I could literally be clicking on everyone, and it could happen at any moment from any player. And that's kind of the disappointing thing about Miramar. You do miss a lot of knockdowns, and it is just the way that the map works and the way this game works with this map. So, fairly stock standard start though here on Miramar Central, around La Bendita, in between Bendita and Los Leones, and just to the east of Picado. But no one inside of Picado, 404 choosing instead to leave Picado. They had the entire city, never got breached. If it does shift central or around sort of to the east, it's not that difficult to make your way out of Picado and head up around to here, to the top of here instead. But instead choosing maybe to play it a bit safer, looking for a quieter option, going down to the south side. So phase number 2. And it is just dead central. It's like a giant donut inside of the zone, which does play to everybody's strengths. And, you know, when everyone plays centrally, everyone wins when it's central as well, except for Only Push, who are coming in quite late, along with Sleepy Gaming, SYF towards the northeastern side. But it's really not too congested for SYF Gaming when they will come in. Looking for back-to-back chicken dinners tonight. Fresh off their win in game number 3. Atletico taking out game 1 and Surge Esports taking out game 2. That's been the tale of the tape here so far tonight. 12 minutes, 15 seconds. 16 teams, 60 alive. It's Nocturnal Gaming who are the ones putting the pressure onto the Chiefs currently. Not really sort of the best position to get those sort of knockdowns, but they can at least let the Chiefs know that their current area is not as safe as they may believe it is to be. And of course, with a zone like that, you're not going to really see a whole lot of movement from teams. They're all pretty happy with their current locations for those that are sort of around the edge, not fully. I mean, there's no team that's what I would consider personally fully on the edge. There are a couple that are near the edge, sort of like Only Push, 404, who have just gone for the crate, How'd and Yasu moving up. Those teams like Only Push, like Nocturnal, maybe depending on what SYF do, but them possibly as well. It's kind of difficult to push into this full well knowing that, okay, with a zone like this, we're in a phase number 2. No teams have been eliminated. Not many deaths either. There's just not many areas left to push to. Not only that, but even if there was an area inside of the zone that was still available that you wanted to get to, getting to that spot's going to be difficult. There's just so many teams that you will most likely lose 1 or 2 on rotation into the zone. Double J going to go down to Linksy, as Sleeper Gaming going to rotate into the southwestern side of the zone, back towards Australia Kents. It's phase 3 though that I'm more interested to see in how that's going to transition this game into phase number 3. 2 more minutes until that will happen. But I get the sense of feeling you will have more teams that are outside of phase 3 than we did for phase 2, which was really only 2 teams. It was Sleeper Gaming and SYF. And SYF are just going to happily come in now back in behind Avant Gaming. The real question is, can AC07 and the rest of Nocturnal see SYF from this position? Not really. No, I would say that's a no. That's a negative. I mean, they could if they can get a massive angle and a lucky headshot, but I don't think that it's a fight sort of angle. They're not going to really look to fight them as Sebastian moves to the top of La Bendita for Nocturnal Gaming. Just to get a bit of a better overview, gain a lot more information. This is really nice push for Nocturnal Gaming. It's fortunate that there's no one inside of La Bendita. He probably should have been a bit more careful peeking over this ridge. He's kind of too late for that now, but he's lucky there's no one around there that spotted him as he just now looks for information. La Bendita could be an area that Nocturnal Gaming push into if it does go north and away from them. I feel like if it goes west or east, it may harm teams a lot more than north or south. If it goes, I mean, I guess maybe not. If it goes south towards Los Leones, we've got ourselves a free-for-all for the amount of teams that are just going to want to try and push into the city. There's no doubt about that. Whereas if it goes north, you've got a free-for-all in terms of teams that are just wanting to try and push up with the zone. More so than to a direct location. There will be a couple, you know, like, okay, let's go here, here, etc. La Bendita, you might have a couple of teams that go there along the... I would think if it does go north, this mountain range over here, possibly as well, just to sort of standing around here. And it is going to be south, though, towards Los Leones, and not quite a complete hard south, so there is a bit more outside of Los Leones than, you know, we do actually lose quite a bit of the city, which does lead me to believe that, really, for teams like We Back and Carnage, they're just not going to move. They're in a great position. If it goes central, if it goes north, they're fine. They're safe. But it's for those teams that are above this road right here. You no longer want to be above this road. You will get caught and trapped trying to cross at an inopportune time when there will be more teams around where Carnage and We Back are, making it extremely difficult to cross. Now's the time to cross. Now is the time to move. And that's exactly what Tiggleton, Peepy Potato, and the Chiefs have done. Rafty spots him, though, as like, hey, I've set him forward. Got a commotion coming in late. Just hops over the back of the vehicle. Jukesy and Insight still hanging around Los Leones along with Atletico. Atletico sort of just in behind them and actually spotting Insight from Happy Innovators with the 8X on the Mini 14. They did lose Cheeses, though, again on that rotation when they were coming in towards Los Leones, so makes it difficult for Atletico, although Order are playing with just the two, so Atletico can't necessarily be complaining in this sort of scenario. I am slightly surprised not many... Actually, no. I'm not surprised at all that there's not many teams that pushed into Los Leones, because the zone is like 75% outside of Los Leones, means that the likelihood that we get a complete hard south shift again into Los Leones is very unlikely, but it can still happen. Yasu with the buggy pushing up into near Order. Well, actually, in between Atletico and Order. Knocked down from Insight onto Yasu. No Mercy will be able to get this revived, though. Does have 6 smoke grenades if he needs. So Dambro from the other side as well up north is able to get a tag onto No Mercy. But the revive will now take place for 404. Split now 2-2. Yeah, so I kind of take back those words in terms of the surprise effect of not more teams being inside of Los Leones. It actually makes sense. Nocturnal Gaming, though, do move themselves into Los Leones. SYF hold their position along with Avant. As off the grid esports, just south of La Bendita now. Apparently, Pandemic Esports and Surge Esports are now going to do battle close quarter. Nice to see, although for some reason Kamzi is sitting in it well. What is this? It works though, but Big Boy Mac has been knocked out. Resin holds onto the top level building. So it's a 2 versus 4 scenario with Kamzi just prone inside of a well. Will they even expect to check inside of that well? Non-Regent Debali from Arcade just outside of the west of this compound that Surge is fighting for to acquire from Pandemic, and they've done a decent job of that so far. 1 kill. But little well man here in Kamzi not going to be moving just yet. I mean, would you even think to check in here? I mean, I wouldn't think to check. I'd run straight past it. Where are those shots coming from? Is that from Debali with the MK14? I think it is. So 2-2 split as well for... Okay, I'm just so intrigued whether or not he's going to get seen in that well. I don't think he will. That well's actually a pretty decently big well in terms of just height. Like, if you're standing, this is like... Your eyes would be about, I think, here. In game, this seems about right. So as you're running past, you can't even really sort of just look in. You'd have to almost like jump in. Wow, that's smart. I haven't actually seen that before, but it's going to work out for Kamzi. And also for Resident, who's inside this building. Man, that MK14 is extremely loud. By the way, phase 4 zone, hard shifting up north and away from Los Leones. Not great for We Back, but it's huge for Carnage. Chiefs as well, decently placed. And for 404, their 2-2 split works out. They do lose Yasu, though. to order as he was coming back towards the rest of his team. Benchu now knocked down by Suspect, as only Push are getting gate kept by Knights Esports. 8, now make that 7 bullets left for Suspect with the AWM. Wolf knocked down onto P for Potato and the execution. They catch P for Potato outside of that compound. The Chiefs losing a member, really in a scenario where they shouldn't be losing one at all. Atletico have actually just found themselves in between Knights Esports and Only Push. They may actually have to help out Only Push, but knowing Atletico, they would probably want to try and get the kills onto them first, then deal with Knights instead. Looks like Luke 12's going to die as well. Happy to be it, Zoidmate, unless they can make a run for it back towards Luke 12, but then they're risking losing even more players. So Zoid and Happy will just move into the zone. You can see the big ping marker that they would have placed down onto this shack right now as they rock up. This will be their destination. Shots are coming from 404. As Luke 12 does die. Org for 5-4 plus the Car 98, and this is not looking good for Happy Davidas and Zoidmate for Atletico. One wrong step and 5-4 can really knock one of them down quite easily, in fact. As Flood gets knocked down by Insight. Orders Insight and Jukesy doing a decent job right now just as a duo pair. Oof. Big knockdown though from Sammy. With the SLR onto Insight. Jukesy just rushes in, closes the door, gets to revive, and a quiet, intimate moment between those two on the stairs will commence. As for Sleepy Gaming, they're going to have to push in up north, possibly past Nocturnal Gaming. Still 16 teams, by the way. 22.5 minutes gone. That may change soon, though. Suspect and Solo B. The last two standing for Knights Esports with Cream's knocked down. Extreme 2G is going to be knocked down. Nicely done by Suspect. It's, for whatever reason, we just went into slideshow mode. And we come back out of slideshow mode. I don't even know what triggered that. Linksy and Benchu, though, are right behind Solo B. But they are the last two for Only Push as Solo B, Suspect, stay alive. Suspect will be able to get the revive onto Cream PTC as well. Throws out a frag, looking to get the confirmation kill onto Bullet L. But Solo down from behind is getting shot at by Linksy. As We Back will be the first team eliminated in 16th position. Out of 16th places. Textile knocked down as soon as that touched him. Cast the curse, but he was already being gate kept by Off the Grid Esports and inside of the blue zone of Art Gaming, with just Charlie and Vasily remaining. And they are separated, and Charlie needs to make his way up this hill. And Unique may spot him here for SYF, who do have 5 kills, but also for them, just the 2 players. As Benchu's been knocked down, Linksy trying to make his way over there. We'll throw out the smoke. Not the best place smoke, as it rolls down the hill. We'll try again here. How's Yuen, though, is going to peek. Linksy's waiting for that peek to happen. Quick tap gets him down to half health. So No Mercy's going to come over as well. These frag grenades just aren't going to make the distance to 404 regardless, even if they were on point and towards the correct location. Zoidmate, though, helps out Only Push. Knockdown onto No Mercy. And this is a horrible knockdown for 404. Blue Zone's approaching in 40 seconds' time. They need to get this revive. They're in the spotlight of both Only Push and Atletico as well. Out here, Haojuan trying to just save this scenario. They already lost Yasu before. They don't want to lose No Mercy as well. Tiggleton now knocked down. As the Phase 5 zone will shift slightly over to the west, away from the Chiefs' compound. Of course, they did lose P for Potato. Not going to be losing Tiggleton, though, as well. And look at Archaic's positioning inside of this zone, though. They really control the entire north side of the zone. Surge Esports going to push up to the hay bales. Headshot, though. No, I thought that was a headshot. Rafi cleans up Biggie J. Maybe Somatic shot would have been a headshot, but it was already a knockdown before that. As Charlie will go down to Crush. Kind of expected that would have happened as Charlie was coming in from the blue, being pressured as well by SYF Gaming. Inside with the knockdown of Australia Kents. Order just want to try and push past. They don't want to try and take the entire fight with Sleepy Gaming. It's just all about moving on the move. Wolf with the knockdown. Now only Jukesy remains. 25 minutes gone as things start to pick up here. In the final game of the night, Insight's going to be blown to pieces by Untainted. Rafi knocked down and Jukesy's eliminated. Order out in 15th position. Not the way they would have liked to end the night. And Sleeper Gaming now need to move with this blue zone as well. Sebastian, the Nocturnal, fires, gets the spray onto Sammy. We've seen him do some pretty decent things so far tonight. Avant Gaming eliminated. ACO7 picks up that kill. So Avant out in 14th. The big dogs have had some quiet nights tonight. It's Nocturnal looking to finish off Sleeper Gaming. Going to get it shackles as well. Great spray before Chaos. Going to get the revenge. Sebastian! Oh! Triple kill! Sebastian, though, goes down to Wolf. But he got the triple for the Nocturnal Gaming. But it all may be for naught. Huge triple kill onto Sleeper Gaming. Sends them out in 13th position. But it's ACO7 that at the very least for Nocturnal stays alive, pushes forward, may be able to get them inside of the top 10 as well. 11 teams remain with Off The Grid Esports going out in 12th position. Now Tiggleton being spotted by ACO7, but he does wonder whether or not he should take this shot. And I don't think he should, because he's also now inside of the blue zone. And it's fortunate that he did not take the shot. It's only pushed go out in 11th down to the final 10 teams. That was a bloodbath. That's going to be ACO7 covered in blood as well from Tiggleton, the flexer, with all 3 of the kills for the Chiefs. Gets them inside of the top 10. 9 teams remain, 22 alive. As the next zone is going to be central, but central over to the east, which is good for SYF, Archaic, the Chiefs. Swordmate and Happy to Beat is still inside of the zone as Crush now spots Rappy, gets a good tag, but he can't get Somatic as well, who helps out. And Unique is not going to be able to get the revenge to avenge Crush. 6 kills for SYF. Edged though with a massive knockdown onto Somatic. If Unique was watching the kill feed and seeing the names, he would know what's just happened. Boy, this is a massive... Oh my god, that would have been huge onto Rafi. If that had just made it over the wall, but now Rafi can make it over to Somatic to go for the revive. Doesn't have the smokes, doesn't have anything. He has literally nothing. And Unique would have heard him running over. Is he going to be able to get the double kill here? If he gets Somatic first, he would be able to pick up the double. If not, then he just gets the 1. But he's not going to get either of them. Just wants to move it into the zone. He's going to leave them be for the time being. And now Rafi's going to be knocked down by Edge. Smoke will come out from Somatic, though. Untainted on the move. Critical motion with a knockdown. Chiefs doing quite well for themselves here, just even with the trio. As Untainted will go down. Tamper is also knocked down by 404. So Carnage not looking fresh hot so far here on the southeastern side of the zone. Now it's going to be Wolf just pushing straight in. Is he going to go for the shack possibly? Or thereabouts that has got Atletico in. No, he's going to be aggressive towards 404. Massive frag grenade thrown towards the USA, but it's already been blown up, burnt in. Fire put out. The fire don't fall very far. Fire fall with the AUG. Wolf has got to be careful now. He's just been spotted. Quick little tap from Firefall. Another little tap as well. But Wolf with the headshot onto How She Went. And he gets also onto Firefall. Wolf. The double. Can he get the triple as well? Pandemic Esports, can't he? Did he finally go down in that well? Was he in that well the entire time? I don't think he was. Obviously, he couldn't have been. Still, the well play was quite well in the end. Ninth position for Pandemic. Well done. Get it? Well, okay. That's enough well puns. 6 kills for Carnage, all of them to Wolf so far. It'll be 7 if he can get House Juan. It seems like No Mercy is just going to make a run for it. Didn't even want to try and fire back and help his team out there. Instead, he's going to come in from behind Knights Esports and Solo B, who's unsuspected for now, but he will hear the footsteps as close as No Mercy does get. 29 minutes and 20 seconds has now gone by. Solid beat into the window. Gets the damage, but it's No Mercy who gets the headshot and he gets the knockdown to go with it. So 404 can stay alive for now, as it's going to be Happy to Beat is knocked down by Wolf. He is just on a rampage right now. Wolf _ FPV. One for the next highlight reel for Wolf. He's on 8 of 8 for Carnage Esports, and Zoid's now all by himself. Solo B will go down, bleeding out to No Mercy, but Knights have not been eliminated. Don't be fooled by the hashtag FixPUBG bug. Suspect is still alive. Very well. So next zone, again shifting to the north, and this road has just not been split. Really, this has been a major factor as well for teams sort of trying to... You can't commit center with the road in between. Although, there is a defilade on this road, if I remember correctly. There is. Right here. So if you know that the entire south side is clean, fighting the end of this against the north, it's not the end of the world. I mean, both sides have got their own defilade. But this south side one's actually slightly better. more of a drop. Steep defilade compared to the slope that's on the northern side. As Surge Esports, Proficient 6 and Biggie J, 8 kills between the two of them. We go to the numbers list here, and boy, it's messy. 2 for Surge, 1 for SYF, 1 for Atletico, 2 for Archaic, 1 for Knights, 1 for 404, 3 for the Chiefs, and 3 for Carnage. Critical Motion, though, being knocked down. Massive nade. It's a Kobe from Sunny for Carnage, but they're not really interested in following up onto it, so Tiggleton will get the revive onto Critical Motion. Better be quick with that, though, because the blue zone's approaching. 55 seconds. Are they going to go for this revive or not? Critical Motion is just begging to be revived. He had so much time to get it as well. This may be too late to get it now. Regardless, we'll move on. Unique gets the elimination onto Somatic. 8 teams, 13 alive. Imagine dying at this point and finding out you finish in 8th position. And Critical Motion won't be brought back up. He won't be able to stay alive. He actually did get brought back up, but he immediately went back down, as Zoidbank will go down to Wolf. So down to just 2 players now for the Chiefs. 7 teams, 11 alive. You know what that means? It's time for some Slurpees. It's 7-11. No Mercy. Spotted by Wolf for a short period of time. He's still up to 9 of 9 kills for Carnage. Can he make it 10 of 10? There's No Mercy. How close is he to Suspect? He's just below him. Suspect would be hearing him as he watches on. Damn Bro, though, breaks the chain and picks up the first kill of the game for Carnage outside of Wolf. 10 kills for them now, though. 6 teams, 10 alive. SYF out in 7th position. Tiggleton looks for some revenge. He does spot Dan Bro. Can land these sort of shots, though. He's out into the open. Shots just not landing. Sunny's going to get some revenge shots, though, into Tiggleton. Edge, though, lucky, does cover Tiggleton. Will confirm the kill onto Sunny as well. And Dan Bro and Wolf moving a lot closer towards No Mercy and Suspect. Biggie J and Proficient 6 move up to the defilade on the north side of the zone. Although they may be spotted by Raffy. Raffy will have to get moving in 24 seconds time here for phase 8. Final phase of the zone before it will shrink in phase number 9. And it's going to be difficult for Edge and Tiggleton. Only 1 smoke between both of them. almost 33 minutes now gone for the final game of the night here for week 3, game 4 for the PUBG BrawlFest Season 2 Alpha Division. Tiggleton with a headshot onto Wolf. It can allow Edge to move up. Now it's going to be the push in from No Mercy. Suspect as well. Can he get Dan Bro to 1 versus 1? No, he can't. Dan Bro comes up big for Carnage in the clutch. 11 kills for Carnage, and they stay alive. Knights out in 5th position. Team 404 in 4th. In 6th, I should say. Now we're down to the top 4. Surge, Cheese, Carnage, and Archaic to round out the top 4. Again, a reminder, you can do !leaderboard. And, well, Raffy just dies to the blue zone. Now down to the final 3 teams. It's a 2 versus 2 versus 2. And who's the best placed team at the moment? I'd say maybe the Chiefs. They do control a lot more of the zone, although Biggie J and Proficient 6 control the entire northern side of the road, which is pretty decent because they can move around this defilade without having to worry about teams shooting them from behind. They will have to cross the road in phase 9, as the center is near Tiggleton. I wonder how far Edge can actually move back, by the way, without being spotted. I wonder if he can go right to the edge here. I think he can. Unless Proficient 6 or Biggie J really come up onto the road, you could actually swing all the way around to the back here of this zone. I don't sense Edge would actually want to do that, but I'm just sort of pointing that out for the logistics sake of it. There's probably more concern still to deal with Carnage right now. And so is Carnage dealing their concerns with the Chiefs. Biggie J, though, does come up onto the top of the road. Biggie J gets a knockdown onto Wolf. He's going to get the spray to Dan Bro. Behind the pole. Smart from Biggie J. Plays that pole perfectly. And like a stripper, he dances around it and avoids the sightlines of Carnage. 2 versus 2 finish. Biggie J, Proficient 6. Surge looking for their 2nd win of the night here. Edge behind the rock. How did those shots not land? He got, I think, 1 bullet to land there all together. Tiggleton just moves up. There's a smoke here. Edge throwing out the last of his frags and last of his smokes. No frags, no smokes left here for either player, for either team. 35.5 minutes gone, but it's up to Surge, who actually need to cross the road altogether. Tiggleton's going to get the jump onto Biggie J, though. Nice hip fire. Can he get Proficient 6 as well? Down to 3 health. It's up to Edge to come in from behind. Be aggressive here. Get the knockdown onto Proficient 6. Down to 24 health. Proficient can't get them both at the same time. Well played by the Chiefs, and most importantly, well played by Edge and Tiggleton at the end. As soon as Edge came up, so did Tiggleton at the same time. It meant that, of course, Proficient 6 couldn't kill both of them at the same time. Well, sweet dreams are made of chicken dinners. That's what they're made of. As the Chiefs come away with the final game, the final chicken dinner of the night. Second position for Surge Esports, though. They had a huge night tonight. Picked up a chicken dinner, second position, some kills. Well, they certainly won't be going into Bravo Division. They'll be back for next week. Third position for Carnage, the Wolf Show. 9 kills. Fourth position for Arcade with 5 kills. And fifth for Knights Esports with a total of 4 kills. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is going to be us done for the night. I thought I'd come and say goodbye myself. Oh, boy, that's bright. I'm opening up the calendar because I want to make sure we get the correct date for next week's games, because it does change. We are no longer on the Thursday from here on out for the remainder of PUBG BrawlFest. Next 3 Tuesdays will be the times for PUBG BrawlFest, so the 4th and 11th and the 18th. Also, unfortunately, for those who have got a Xenox sub, now's the time to cry. I won't be casting PUBG BrawlFest for the next 2 weeks. I will be back, though, for the final week. Don't worry. And the reason why is because I will be in Sydney casting Overwatch Contenders. So that's going to be exciting for me. I will miss, though, the BrawlFest action. I will still be around, though, for the other tournaments. Wingman, and of course, Cyber Gamer as well, so you can catch me there. But thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. It's been, as always, amazing to bring you the BrawlFest action. You can follow BrawlFest, of course, on Twitter, at BrawlFest PUBG, GLL as well, of course, BrawlFest powered by GLL and 1UP Entertainment. If you want, my socials, at XenoxCasts on Twitch and Twitter as well. Thank you everyone for watching here tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. And again, BrawlFest will be back next Tuesday. I'm not sure who will be casting. Maybe we'll get Gorway up to Alpha. He's been doing an amazing job. Who knows? We'll see. Stay tuned onto all of the social medias, though, to find out for next week's Alpha Division games. Much love to all. And to all, much love. Good night.
Take your time. Nothing came between us that night. Lose your mind. Feel that love within us tonight. 'Cause I'm testing your trust, I'm holding your heart, your love in your eyes, please don't make this hurt. We are gonna rise right from the ground. But it's taking its toll, it's breaking our backs, we're losing control, just don't give check. We are united right now. We gotta feel that rush again. We gotta feel that rush again. We gotta feel that rush again. We gotta feel that rush again.